Well, well, well. All right. Here we are. Thursday evening. We're just about made it to the big Friday. And I hope everybody's doing good tonight. I took last week off, took myself a little bit of a break, kind of sat back and relaxed and watched a little bit of TV, watched House of Dragon, uh, the House of the Dragon. Anybody watching House of the Dragon? Great, great show. Anyway, I was kicking back last Thursday. Wasn't quite feeling like, occasionally, you don't want to sit in front of the camera and have people kind of stare at you, and you gotta do your monkey dance and all that kind of stuff. And so I just kicked back and watched a little bit of TV and hung out with the cat, and enjoyed myself a little bit. But here I am back again on another Thursday, and I hope everybody's doing good. Let's hit up this chat real quick and see what's going on, because we got the hardcore people in here, and we got the new people. If we got some new people in here tonight that came over from Pilmer's, Michael Pilmer, what a great guy. I want to thank you guys for coming by, doing a little cross-pollination, as it were, and coming by to spend your time with me on a Thursday. And most Thursdays, I do a little bit of what we call a full album spotlight. And that's when I'm going to spin a complete album for you, sometimes two, sometimes maybe even three, and we spin that sucker front to back just like Mama taught you how to wipe. And tonight I got something great for you, really great. Now I'm going to tell you all about that in just a minute. We're going to hit up this chat. We're going to say hi to some people, because people like being recognized. They want to know when they put the chat in there, they put a comment in, they want to see somebody say, hey, I see you, I recognize you. And I do. I recognize you all, and I appreciate your support. Baron came in. Baron left a nice comment on my on the last Hydra 17, and he said, "Yeah, I watch, but I watch on reruns, because on a replay, because I'm always out doing something else, which is great. If you've got something else to do in life, you just pick this up when you got a minute. You don't have to spend your time doing this." So. Good to see you, Baron, if you're watching us afterwards. Randy's in the house. Randy would be glad to know. I went in my YouTube settings, and I found a way to make the thumbs visible again. So you give me a thumbs up, and you're going to be able to see how many thumbs ups there are now. So Randy's, I'm sure, feeling a lot better about that now. So good to see you, Randy. Darren's in the house. Good to see you, homie. Yo, Adrian. It's good to see you, Adrian. Yeah, I'm going to send Adrian and you some incense. Just hit me up on my email, and I'll get some sticks sent over to you real quick. Nick's in the house. AZ Mick is in the house. Good to see you, Mick. Really good to see you. Who else we got? Excuse me. John's in the house. John had a great stream earlier today. He had like a early, like a noon time-ish kind of stream. And they were talking about punk and garage and all kinds of stuff. Adam Sin was up there with him, and Paul was up there, and one other guy, I forget who was up there. But yeah, great stream today. I had you in my pocket. I'm painting. I'm up on a ladder about 30 feet up in the air today. I got you in my pocket. I can hear what's going on, so I was with you. Probably, again, the highest guy in the stream today was me, 30 plus feet in the air painting. Listening to John and his dudes talk about all kinds of great stuff. Great stream today, John. Good to see you. HTOMC42. It's good to see you, homie. Thanks for coming by. Sean Spins in the house, my man. This guy he might as well be my little brother. Guy's as solid as a rock, man, let me tell you. And I got a little story to tell you about Sean here in a little bit. Nick's in the house. Nick Pantazzi. Good to see you, brother. Really good to see you. Hope everything's going good with you. I hope everything's working out for you, brother. I'm over here thinking about you now and then. I hope you're getting the vibes, Nick, because I'm sending them over to you now and then. So you feel a little pang in your stomach, that's me sending you a little bit of love. Eric, my man Eric, he's another brother. I think got more than a few brothers here in the vinyl community. And Me and my man Eric, we could talk about all kinds of stuff. We could talk about cars for hours, talk about incense and soap, uh, and other things, that we won't talk about here because, we're just going to leave that kind of stuff alone. But it's good to see you, Eric. Zepp's in the house. I hope you brought your pillowcase, Zepp, because we got a lot of candy here to give out. Hey, T. Frothington Bellows. That sounds British. I'm going to give you a wrench because you come over from Pilmer Stream. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming by. I think you're going to enjoy this. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, Kimba. Miss You's in the house. The single greatest hype chick in the entire vinyl community. Trademark. You get one of those, you. Great to see you. Hope everything's going okay with you. Kimba's in the house. Good to see you, Kimba. Hope everything's okay on your end. Who else we got? Shane. Shane's in the house. Good to see you, Shane. I hope you like early American Psych. Got some great shit lined up here for you tonight. Who else? I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Baron is actually in the house right now. Lonnie, it's good to see you, homie. God damn, it's good to see you, man. Hope everything's going okay with you on your end. Glad you came by. No, Victor, it's not going to hurt. You just got to loosen up a little bit and just let it happen. Not going to hurt at all. Who else we got? Make sure I didn't miss anybody here really quick. Man, we got a lot of chat going on here tonight. Okay, excellent. So here we are. We're all caught up. Happy Thursday. Sam just showed up. Good to see you, Sam. Sam, I think, said he's wearing his Hydra shirt earlier. I'm not wearing my Hydra shirt, but I am wearing my King Buffalo shirt. Check this guy out. And I want to say one thing about King Buffalo here real quick. Concert shirts, and I've talked about concert shirts in the past, they typically suck. Number one, I don't like black shirts. Number two, I don't like concert shirts because they don't fit me right. They don't look right. They don't hang on me right. I don't like them. So when I buy them, most times they go in the drawer. They never get worn. You go to King Buffalo show, guess what they got? Hydra shirts, next level. I get next level brand shirts. King Buffalo got next level shirts, man. These motherfuckers fitting me like a tailor-made shirt. So, yeah. Good. I'm glad, Lonnie. I'm glad everything's going good for you. Man, I still haven't had a chance to get out on the bike. I got so much work going on. I'm trying to catch up on stuff. I'm really hoping we get like an Indian summer kind of thing during the fall. I get a couple days. Maybe over the weekend I can get out and get a little ride in. I miss riding. I really miss riding. It's been this has probably been the longest I've ever gone. It's maybe a month and a half without jumping on the bike, and I'm missing it. So I'm going to jump back on that fucker and get a ride hopefully over the weekend. Breakfast King. I'll tell you exactly what the bleep is going on. I'm going to play you tonight some killer American early psych. If you like, I'd say it's akin to Jefferson Airplane, but a little heavier, a little deeper, and a little more thought out. I think it's heavier. It's a little bit heavier. Psych is a little bit heavier. I think you're going to dig it tonight. So, last weekend, Saturday, I met up with my man. George, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you, George. I'm missing anybody? I don't want to miss anybody. George is in the house. Good to see you. Boom. Trademark. Yeah. I stopped by. I went over to Phillytown again Saturday, this past Saturday. And I met up with my man, Sean Spins. Took the truck over. I had a good time. Went and got myself an $8 latte mochaccino thing from some really high-end, crazy coffee shop with super low ceilings. Almost had to duck to go into this place. It was really strange, really hot in there, and like some Swedish chick that I could hardly understand. But, yeah, I picked myself up a really expensive cold coffee, and we went and did some digging. Long in the Tooth Records over in Philadelphia, and I didn't get a ton, but I did get a few, and I'm going to show you what I got in just a minute. And then after that, anybody familiar with the Motor Museum? If you're not familiar with the Motor Museum in Philadelphia, it's a medical oddities museum, and it's an old museum. Mid-19th century, I believe. The building may be older, but a lot of their stuff is 1800s kind of medical oddities. So you see stuff like giant colons You know, massive colons like the size of a tuba, and look at the tallest guy in the world at the time, his skeleton, and then the little tiny dude skeleton next to him, bunch of little fetus skeletons like going up in size from like an inch to like a foot. They got like a little baby, like with its arms like spread open, and they cut all the meat out of it, and like the veins and the muscles are showing and stuff. And skulls, like a skull collection, like about 100 skulls in there, up on the wall in these cases, and they tell you some information about the people that the skulls belong to. You know, suicide attempt and child murderer and stuff like that. Really crazy stuff. Yeah, attempted suicide. Guy tried to cut his throat, but he didn't do it right, so he lived for a little while longer in agony. So it was an interesting day hanging out with Sean. Really nice day over in Philadelphia. Just that kind of weather where you can wear a light coat. The wind was blowing a little bit. You had a nice cool breeze going. I had a great time with Sean. So we went and did some digging and had a really great time. So let me show you what I got over at Long in the Tooth Records. Picked up soundtrack. You know what they have in there? They have giant testicles, and they have a big dried up penis and testicles in there, and they had like a set of teeth in there. You know, all just a bunch of teeth. You know, like in a row. They had a head. They had a face that was like it was like cut into sections. You know, it's like 4 or 5 pieces of this head, and they had it sideways so you can see it. So you see the side of this guy's head, and then the next slice you see into his nose and part of his mouth. The next one you see his brain, and then you see more brain like a tongue, and then a neck bone. It was pretty intense. Let me tell you, it was pretty intense. But yeah, so I got some stuff from the record store, local, right around the corner. And if you guys know this movie, anybody know The Trip? This is Peter Fonda's in this, and Bruce Dern is in this, and Jack Nicholson, I think, produced this. And it is Peter Fonda. He wanted to trip for the first time, so he trips under the tutelage of Bruce Dern, and it's a really killer soundtrack. And this is super, super minty, OG, really clean, like shockingly clean. You know, really, really super clean. So music from The Trip, as you can see, some stuff from American Flag and an American music band. But how trippy is that? So yeah, I picked up The Trip. You guys know Cadaver, the German band Cadaver, kind of Sabbathy. I played some Cadaver on the stream before. So this is Cadaver, and I picked up Cadaver's second LP, Abracadaver. And this is when... if you're going to get into Cadaver, get the first Cadaver and then get this Cadaver and then stop. You don't really need anything else besides these two. And this is a solid LP. These LPs are going to be played in the future on future full LP spins. I got another soundtrack, Clint Eastwood in The Gauntlet. And shockingly, this artwork is actually done by Frank Frazetta. If you guys know Frank Frazetta, he's normally known for his Conan the Barbarian type of stuff and elves, you know, with big axes. And I believe he did the artwork for what? I can't remember the Dust. You know the album Dust, the band Dust. He did the artwork for Dust, the 1970 album Dust, or 71 maybe. I think I'm kind of close. I picked up another Bloodhound Pig. You know, I have A Head Rings Out. And this was Mick Abraham's band from Jethro Tull. And I finally found this. I'm glad to get it. It's a nice clean copy. Getting to This by Bloodhound Pig. But very happy to have this. And then, what we're going to play tonight, and this is the cream of what I found. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, you may be right, Zepp. I don't know for sure, but it does look like kind of like Frazetta work. The cream of the crop, the creamed spinach of the crop that I picked up is this original copy of Ultimate Spinach. And this is what I'm going to be playing for you tonight. And I'm really excited to spin this. Now, this is pretty fucking clean. I haven't seen one really this clean. And so when I saw it, I immediately snagged it. And I'm super, super happy to have this. And this is what we're going to be listening to tonight. Ultimate Spinach in its entirety. Like I say, front to back, just like Mama taught you how to wipe. Yeah, so that's what we got going on here. Again, I had a good time with Sean over the weekend over in Philly town. Yes. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yeah, I was really happy to find that Ultimate Spinach. Really, really fucking happy. You know what they have there, Nick? There's a lot of people in here that'll know what this is. They have an original copy of Soft Machine with the dial, and they want like $150. That seems a bit high. But it was mint, man. It was fucking mint. And that's the second this is the second time I've been to this same record store, and it was in there again, up on the wall. And I was that close to getting it, but $150, that's a lot of money to be spending on one album. So I kind of let it pass again, and I'm pretty sure because the price is it's a little bit high in my opinion, I think. It'll probably be there next time I go back. So I'm thinking maybe if I go back enough times and I ask about it, maybe the price will drop. Maybe I should have done that the last two times. Maybe I should have started to kind of dicker with this guy. You know, let me offer you $100 for it. You know, and go back the next time. Let me offer you a $110 for it, and then maybe he'll end up dropping it. But I got to keep that in mind. But again, I think that's a little much for the original Soft Machine. So yeah. So here we are, Aaron. Hey, Aaron, did you pick up a King Buffalo shirt? I was just talking about how they use Next Level brand shirts. And they're the same shirts that I pick for my Hydra shirts because they're by far the best shirt company. They're very soft, you know, all cotton. They fit really well. I mean, look at the way this thing fits. It fits really, it hangs, you know, it hangs on you really well. Like, you know, I got the big shoulders, you know what I mean? So the shirts, they got to look right on me, you know what I mean? They got to be symmetrical, and they got to fit around my arms right and around my neck, and can't be too big or long at the bottom. I'm really particular about the shirts I wear. Very, very aware, maybe hyper aware of what's going on. Yeah, Baron. Oh, you like their second one better, huh? Interesting comment. Yep. Oh, you're wearing it right now, Aaron? Did you get the same one I got, the Goat God, or did you get a different one? Yeah, those guys know their shit, man. Yeah. Yep. Hey, good to see you, Mike. Mike Pilmer. If you don't know Pilmer, he does Michael Pilmer does a show right before I do my show every Thursday. He does it at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't already know, if you're living under a rock and you don't know Michael Pilmer, go check out his channel, give him a sub. Not that he needs it. He's already got like 5,000 subs, I think, but go hit him up. Good to see you, Mike. Excellent show tonight. I hope you enjoy the shirt, by the way. And I appreciate your support, Michael. Thank you for putting the word out to other people and saying such kind things. We got a lot of kind-hearted people here in the vinyl community. Let me tell you, some very selfless people, and I really appreciate that kind of stuff. Makes your heart feel good, doesn't it? Such nice, kind people out there saying nice things about you and hyping you up. Yeah. Yes. Aaron got the one that looks like the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, okay. They had a bunch of really cool ones there, man. Yes. Yeah, I agree. The second spinach is excellent. I don't have the second spinach, and I didn't have the first spinach. So I was very happy to start at A, and then I'll move to B. Who knows how long it'll take me to find the second one. Maybe it'll be another 15 years before I find that. But I like kind of spontaneously finding stuff. Myself and Eric Weinbender, he's in the crowd tonight. We were talking about spontaneity. You know, a lot of people say, you going out digging? Well, what are you looking for? And I say, well, I'm not looking for anything, but I'll know exactly what I'm looking for the second I see it. And that's the honest truth. I think going out with a list and things in mind, you're going to end up disappointed, especially when you're shopping for things in the wild. I think there's a lot of disappointments going to set in as far as hoping you find, a specific album while you're out digging. I think that's kind of what I use the internet for. Is when I have a list of specific things I'm looking for, and it's likely you're not going to find them, at least not in my neck of the woods. So you go online and you find those records, and they're the ones that you cross off your list, because who knows how many years it could take to find one of the ones on your list. And some of the weird kind of underground rare shit that I got on my list, you'll never find any of the really odd stuff that I'm looking for out there in the wild. So yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming I haven't even heard the third one, Mick. I don't even know. Darren, you bring up a good point, actually. There's going to be a record convention in Philadelphia. I believe it's coming up next month, if not maybe early December. But that's going to be at the Philadelphia Convention Center, I believe. And myself and Sean Spins, we're going to head over there. And that's going to be my first record convention. I've never actually been to a record convention because I knew if I go to a record convention, I will have no money in my bank account when I leave. Because it's hard to contain yourself when you see grail after grail after grail, you know what I mean? Nathaniel, good to see you, man. Nathaniel's got, do a quick shout out from Nathaniel Mars. He's in the crowd right now. He's got a little Twitch thing. It's hard to grow your channel when you're on Twitch. Nate is over on Twitch, and I think he does shows like every night. He does them unfortunately, it's Betty Bye time for me normally because I got to get up at 5 in the morning. But Nate's got a nice show over there, and he's got the camera on his turntable, and he's spinning some really interesting stuff. So go check out Nathaniel. Go check Nate Mars. What is it? Transmitting live from Mars. I think that's the name on his. I think that's a name on his Twitch channel. But go give him a what's for. What's up, Malia? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope everything's going good for you over there. Hope you got all your errands done today. You got yourself situated. You can sit back because Malia, you're gonna enjoy what we're playing tonight. Got some early American psych rock, Ultimate Spinach, first LP, original press, and we're about this fucking far from getting this sucker started tonight. I'm not gonna do a lot of drinking tonight because I still got to work tomorrow. I got to climb that ladder, and the last thing I need is to have a hangover while I'm 30 plus feet in the air. So I'm going to do a little bit of drinking with you. I got my bubbly water here. Anybody got a Soda Stream machine? I got a Soda Stream machine. I got me some bubbly water. So cheers on this, and then I got a little bit of this Jim Beam Devil's Cut. And this has been in the freezer for probably, 7 years. So it shows you how much I actually drink. I'm going to do a little bit of this with you, so cheers to everybody. Let's tip it back right now. I'll do one with you real quick. Cheers, everybody. Smooth. Yeah. A little bit of Jim Beam, a little bit of bubbly water. Yes. Okay. I try. Malia, let me tell you, and for anybody that's unaware of what's going on my channel typically, it is what I really like to do is there are times where I just want to play good music that most people know, and I'm not exempt from doing that. I do. I play shit that everybody knows at some points, but what I really like to do here on this channel is I like to find stuff that's a bit underground, lesser known bands, and this covers the entire spectrum. This goes, way back, OG stuff, 60s, late 60s, 70s, and it goes all the way into current stuff. And if you check out some of the stuff on my channel, you'll see I'm covering the entire gamut. And I like to introduce new music to people that haven't heard it before, because in my opinion, that is really what the journey of music is about. It's not constantly revisiting the same thing you know over and over. Don't box yourself in to the same music, the same type, the same format, the same era. Get out there, jump out of your comfort zone, listen to some stuff you might not think you may be into, and I guarantee you're going to surprise yourself. And that's what I like to do here. I like to surprise people. And that's really what gets me off. That's the reciprocal nature of what I do right here. I'm here talking to you in front of a camera. You're watching me right now. I'm going to play some really good music. I'm hoping you're going to dig it. And I hope it starts a brand new journey for you, a new branch on the tree that is just going to send you endlessly in a new direction that you never thought you'd ever be interested in the beginning. So, that's not a rant. It's not even close to a rant. That's a blanket statement. It's called a blanket statement, Malia. That's what we call that. That's what it's smooth. Yeah, so let's get this sucker started. I'm gonna hang out with you guys. We're gonna play a full album, and then I'm gonna bring a few people up here, and we're probably gonna do a little bit of chatting for a while. Ultimate Spinach, American early psych, a little heavier. I'd say heavier than Jefferson Airplane, but it's got that same kind of feel. But they've got their own thing going on as well. Also, real quick before I get started, this coming Saturday, 9:30, I think it's somewhere between 9 and 9:30 on my channel, Halloween special, Hydra 18. We're going to have a Hydra 18 coming this coming Saturday. It's going to be myself, John, Bip Bop Boom's going to be there, my man, and Randy, my brother from another mother. We're all going to be hanging out, the original Hydra team, and we're going to be dressed up. We're going to have costumes on, and we're going to be spinning some really cool music. And then after we play some music for you guys, we're going to bring some people up, and those people are going to be in costumes too. And we're going to have a good old fucking time. We're going to drink some beer, hang out, get a buzz on, listen to some cool music, and chat with you guys, and hopefully entertain you guys for the evening. But, yes. That's right. Creepy. Creepy. Yeah, that's a creepy thing. Yeah, I am an uncle, but it's kind of a creepy thing to say, don't you think? Yes. Good, Adrian. Yeah, you come on by and you stop on by and let us entertain you guys. Yeah, so here we go. We're going to get started. Ultimate Spinach, OG. And this is a Massachusetts band, and this band was formed in 1967. I believe Ultimate Spinach is 1968. I believe, if I'm not wrong, I think it's 1968. Yeah, so, Baron, Lonnie, it's great to see you, brother. I'm really glad Lonnie's here tonight hanging out. It's a rare occasion that Brother Lonnie comes by and hangs out with us, and that's for you, Lonnie. That's a trademark, by the way, Lonnie, right here, TM. I do have my movement trademarked right now, just so you know. So you're going to have to contact my attorneys if you want to try to use this. It's okay, but you got to have the same circumference bicep as me, and you got to wear the same shirt, and you got to pay me some royalties to do it. Yeah. So let's play a little bit of what Lonnie calls the devil's lettuce. Yes, the ultimate spinach. Make yourselves a salad, kick back and relax, and this is going to be a good one, man. So it's good to see you guys. Very good to see you guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for supporting me and the channel, Hydra, and all the other things that we do around here. Appreciate you sitting back and listening to me talk. I figure if you can listen to Pilmer talk and burp for 2 hours, you can listen to me talk for half an hour. I only burp twice. I'll try to up my game. I got some bubbly water here tonight. Maybe I can up my game tonight. I'll burp a little more. But I think we got the king of burps is already in the crowd. Michael Pilmer, he's got everybody beat. So let's kick this sucker out. Yeah, inverted cross. You got to have inverted crosses. You got to have angry midgets wearing black hoodies with red eyes. You got to have skeletal, people, and you got to have inverted crosses. And all the world is good when you've got an inverted cross in your house. So, yeah, my lucky number is also 13, if you didn't know, by the way. So, yeah, let's get the sucker started. Paul. Good to see you, Paul. Paul was hanging out at John's show earlier today, And let me just say, these fucking guys, they know so much. Like the amount of minutia that these guys know about labels and recordings and different artists, it blows my mind. Like, I know music, but I don't like involve myself in the minutia of, what I'm into. I just kind of generalize and that kind of thing. But these guys, they dig deep, man. And man, I really respect that kind of shit. Puts collecting at a whole new kind of level for me. It makes it a bit intimidating for me at that point. So I just want to back off and go, yes, very good record. Yes. American. Yes. Good drummer. Let's move on. So, yeah, good to see you. Nate, let's rock this motherfucker out. I hope you guys dig it. Let me not knock over my chair. Okay, let's go. Skips and all. No skips in it. Got some
Mindless cretins grope through idiosyncrasy fields, up, rising, up, down.
You wanna
Yes.
See the glazed eyes, touch the dead skin, feel the cold lips, and know the warmth of the hip death goddess.
Touch my hand and you will grow old. Touch my hand, your heart will grow cold. Come, let me take you in my arms. I will keep you safe from all harms. Kiss my lips, for they are very nice. Kiss my lips and you will turn to ice. Look at me and I will turn you on. Don't try to think, because
Isn't that cool? Isn't that some trippy shit? You know, I'm looking forward to Hydra on Saturday because I'm gonna have like gonna have some cool lights behind me. Gonna have like a smoke machine going and shit, fucking strobe light. I'm not gonna tell you what my costume's gonna be, but if you just showed up, we're playing Ultimate Spinach, 1968. Yeah, and it's heady. Like I was saying, it's kind of a little bit like Jefferson Airplane, but only a little tiny bit. I'd say it's a lot deeper. It's foreboding. It's a little bit scary, right? I mean, it's okay to say you're scared. It's all right. But Saturday, this coming Saturday, Hydra 18 is going to be on Saturday, and that's Halloween weekend. And myself and Randy, Deadwax 66, and John, Bip Bop Boom, we're all going to be up here spinning killer music for you guys in costumes. So we're going to be all dressed up, playing some really cool shit for you. Smoke machine, strobe lights, flashing lights in the background, inverted crosses, goat gods, demigods, the whole thing. The whole thing. If you are a devout Christian, you're likely to burst into flames if you show up at this stream coming Saturday. I'm just putting it out there. There's a disclaimer. I'm putting it out there for you right now. You may actually burst into flames. So, having said that, let's spin this over because if you think the headiness is already abounding, wait till you check out side 2 because side 2 is really fucking cool. Interesting thing about John's stream earlier today, they were talking about, and we've talked about this before, tracking and how an album is tracked as far as the order of songs go. And I think Madam Sim was saying side 1 was typically what the company wanted, what the label wanted, and side 2 was usually what the musicians wanted. And this, I'd say, is half of this first side was what the radio people wanted, was what the upper, the suits wanted, and the other half of side 1 is what they wanted. This album is mostly comprised of shit that the band, I believe, wanted more than what the label wanted them to have and put out. So I'm going to spin this over. We're going to do side 2, and I hope you guys are digging it. This is actually the first time I've actually heard this. I have not spun this album. I know the album, but I've not spun this wax until this very minute. And that's another part of what I like doing with like the shared experience with you guys is breaking out an album that I haven't yet heard. I know the album, but I haven't spun this actual wax yet. It's the first time this has touched my turntable since I picked it up in Philadelphia this past Saturday. So, let's spin this over. We're going to do side 2, a Devil's Lettuce, the Ultimate Spinach, if you know exactly what that means. Anybody got some Ultimate Spinach out there tonight? I'm not on spinach tonight. I kind of kicked back a little bit off the spinach, and I feel like I'm a little better person for that. Cleared my head up a bit. I'm more of a PM kind of spinach consumer now. When all the work is done and you sit back and relax a little bit, all those things to take care of. You paid your bills, you put your day in, you got home, you got your shower, you worked out. Then you get a little bit of spinach, and then you kick back in bed, watch a little TV, and zonk out till the next day. So, I hope everybody's having a great time tonight. I sure am. Mike Pilmer, appreciate you, man. Glad people like you are out there in the world, and I hope you get your cat box situated. If you need a little more kicked in on that cat box, come on and email me. I know what it's all about. I actually built myself I got a cat box outside for some of the strays. And what I was trying to tell you on one of your streams, I don't think you caught it, was if you want to know what kind of heater to put in your cat house for the winter, I picked up a touch-sensitive, weatherproof heating pad for rabbits. And they put them in those rabbit cages over the winter. And they kind of stay on just a little bit, but when something touches them, it turns on. So you could put like some towels on there or something so that they go in there as a little bit something soft for them in there when they come out of the cold. And I built my cat house out of a Tupperware, one of them big kind of Tupperware containers with the lid on it. And I flipped it upside down. I cut a hole in it, put a little cat flap in it, put a little awning on it so no rain gets in there. And every morning when I come out, when it gets cooler, there's always a cat kind of hanging out in there. Put a little bowl of food out there for him and stuff. And the pad works really well. I've had it for about 6 years now. Still working really good. Weatherproof completely. So and very low voltage. So you won't have to worry about your electric bill. So, yes, email me, Mike. I'd love to help out if I could with that cat house. Anything I can do. Because, we got a bunch of cats around here. There must be half a dozen cats kind of running around here that have no home. They're sleeping under a deck or a porch or roaming around. You see them out there crouching down when it's snowing. You feel bad for them. So you make a little house. You got a heater in there. As soon as they walk, it's like radiant floor heating. Like if you had radiant floor heating, wouldn't you feel like a king? So somebody go out there in the morning. There's a couple cat heads kind of poking out. you don't want to get too close because they just run off, but makes you feel good. So yeah, let's spin the sucker over. Yeah, exactly, Eric. When you touch it, it gets turned on. Yeah. So let's do side 2, Ultimate Spinach. All right, let's go.
Collapsed laughter, running, falling, tripping across the minefield of your thoughts. Dissolved, wondering, who am I? Why should I be alone?
Concrete forest loom into view. Steel-throated robots tell you what to do. Look out, Big Brother is looking at you. Look out, Big Brother is looking at you. Your head is reeling. Your head is flower children dressed in a shroud. got a little telegram from LBJ. Said, come on down, the weather's fine. But first we're gonna check you out and teach you what to do. So buddy, better stand in line. We're gonna strip you naked and build you up again. And then we're gonna mess up your mind. And then we'll send you in the jungle. If you're lucky, you'll survive. You'll learn to dodge and claim all mines. You'll be a dog in the hog's clothing. Yes, you will. I went down to the draft board and said, you guys are nuts. Killing people just ain't right. They looked at me and laughed out loud and rolled on the floor and said, you're really out of sight. Take our 8-week basic course, it's called 100 Ways to Kill. We know that you'll see the light. The way they grabbed me by the arm, I knew they weren't kidding around, and I began to feel uptight. I can't get good in the hog's clothing. No, no, no. For CO, but that did me no good. They said to war or jail you must go. I said that isn't very much of a choice, so let me think, I'll let you know. They said it's unpatriotic to think out loud. You sound like a peacenik bingo. So they threw me into prison with a 5-year term, and now I'm feeling pretty low. In convict's clothing, oh no, no.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I saw a funny freak parade marching down the street. They were acting very strange, kissing everybody they meet. Bananas hanging out of their ears, daffodils in their hands. Someone asked what's happening here. They were led by a strange little man playing on a celery flute, backed up by a big brass band made up of unstrung loops. They were making a very strange sound that was hard to describe, but you know that something good's going round. I saw a funny freak parade marching down the street. They were acting very strange, kissing everybody they meet. Bananas hanging out of their ears, daffodils in their hands. Someone asked what's happening here.
That's what's happening, baby.
All right. Way too short. Way too short. But, man, so fucking good. So there it is. There it is, chillins. The first Ultimate Spinach original press, picked up from Philadelphia. Went there Saturday with my man Sean Spins. If you don't know Sean Spins, SHAUN Spins, go sub him up. Guy's got some really good content, and he does live streams where he draws. Yeah, the guy's an artist. Like a Lothario. Yeah. Play some Brant Bjork. that'd be yeah. Good. Glad you dug it, Darren. Because honestly, I haven't heard it. I couldn't even tell you the last time I heard it. And I don't think I've ever heard it on vinyl. So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys dug it. Yes. Yeah, glad you guys dug it, man. It's really cool. You know, it's got like the perfect kind of mix of like levity and that really kind of deep, heady stuff. Like that one kind of country Joe and the Fish type of thing they had going on. But you know, just when it gets a little bit light, they bring it right back down again, back deep down into them grooves again. Very cool. Yes, exactly, Adrian. Hit me up. I'll send you some incense. Anybody wants I'm not wearing one right now, but I'll probably wear one on Saturday. I don't have my Hydra shirt on today. Mike Pilmer, hopefully he's proudly wearing his Hydra shirt today. And yeah, appreciate you contributing to the channel. Not that you want to know the truth with these shirts is I didn't make a fucking dime. I didn't make a single dime off of these shirts. Matter of fact, there were a couple where I lost money. But the reason I had those shirts made, those Hydra Sessions shirts, was to just kind of pay it forward and say, I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And what I mean by support is not so much monetary, although there are more than a few people that have been extremely kind and have donated a little bit of green to me, to the channel, and that went right back into the channel. But I had the shirts made to essentially thank you guys for being so awesome and coming over here and spending your time with me and enjoying, you know, the good music and the camaraderie and the dick jokes. There's always got to be plenty of dick jokes in there. You can't be just completely serious all the time. You got to throw a dick joke in now and then. And so yeah, I'm gonna hang out here for a few. I'm gonna toss out the link here. I'm going to see if anybody wants to come up and talk about their experience, their auditory experience with Ultimate Spinach. Absolutely, Mike. Appreciate you coming by. Well, all you got to do is email me, Adrian, and what I'm doing is, you know, I got my friend Dave and Jenny, you know, B-Sides, and Dave over there, Dome. They got themselves a shirt, little printing company over there where they print shirts and that kind of stuff. But they can't do super low runs. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a few orders at a time, and when I get to 6, 8, maybe 10, then I'll put in an order. And I think if you want a shirt, I think Matt Real wanted a shirt. So if you guys wanted a shirt, I know Malia wanted a shirt. I'll put in an order at around 8 shirts or so. And it costs me a little bit more to get them made in super low runs. But I will get those shirts printed up for you. And like I said, they're high quality, next level brand shirts. Very comfortable. Mike Pilmer will tell you. Very comfortable, very soft. The printing is it's a light printing. It's not that super globbed on kind of stuff. It's screen printed. I'm pretty sure it's screen printed. And they do very good work. And so they will last you quite a long time. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. I got to check backstage. I keep forgetting to check backstage. No, there's a white thing here. It says E on it, but there's nobody there. So let's wait. Yeah, there's a little box here backstage. It says E, but there's nobody attached to the E. So let's wait. Maybe get somebody more than E with a white screen coming up to hang out. But, yeah, if not, no big deal. You know, this is mostly about sharing the music. You know, if you guys want to come up afterwards and chat, that's totally cool. But I really wanted to share this experience with you guys. So, and I'm glad I did that. So, job is, you know, my job is done, essentially. Yeah. Pickle bread. That doesn't sound very good. Yes. Tim, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you. You know, Tim, he's over on Michael Pilmer's stream, and he's always doing such a good job. He puts out links to people's channels, and he's always good at shouting people out. Very, very good. Like, probably call him, like, probably the premier, like, hype dude, you know, in the VC. I know Randy's really up there, but Tim is really, he's knocking out the park, you know what I mean? He's always putting them links up there and saying kind things about people. Go check this person out, check that person out. That's what I love about the VC. There's a lot to not love about the VC, but let me tell you about the things I love about the VC. We'll leave all that kind of, you know, ancillary stuff out there in the ether. We'll just let that kind of float around. We won't worry about it. Yes. So, let me check one more time. Oh, there's somebody back here now. Okay, E. Hey, E.
Good.
What's up, E?
Yeah. How you living, man?
What's up? How you doing, homie?
Fucking chilling, dude.
All right. What'd you think, man? Ultimate Spinach. You dig it?
Dude, I've been looking for that record for a long time, dude. I think there's one Dud song where it kind of sounds like Carnival-like on the B-side. Outside of that, I like the whole album.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying, there's a couple on there that are kind of, you start to get the wrong impression of the music, but as soon as they're very short, and then they get right back into the heady stuff again. So that's what I really dig about it.
No, I dig the album, though. I've been looking for a long time. And luckily, there's like 27 represses. So if I could find an old school that isn't an original, I'm cool with that. But it's one of the things that's on a Karma. So I'm totally down for a Karma repress. I got no issues with that.
Oh, Ultimate Spinach is on a Karma?
Yeah. I'd fucking grab that in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I wouldn't think twice about it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I showed, by happenstance, I showed 2 Karma records in my video today. So, I mean, like, I got no issues with that. The Indian Summer I showed was a Karma.
Good. A great album, by the way. I listened to it at work today. It's fucking great. I dig it.
It's a legit album, dude. What do you think about the vocals?
Well, you know, I love shit like Lucifer's Friend and that kind of stuff. So it was right in that kind of vein, lyric, you know, vocally. So I had no problem at all with it. I don't think it was shrill. Some people think Lucifer's Friend's kind of shrill vocals, but I don't think it is at all. So I like it. It's
fucking rocking, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's good with you, man? You work tomorrow?
Yeah, I got one more day, and I got the weekend, and then back to work again. But we had a bunch of rain this week. It kind of pushed me off. You know, we're pushing some exterior work, and we really shouldn't be trying to push it this far into the season. But, you know, we had a couple, and the rain fucked us up last couple weeks. So I went out there today. It was like the first day with, like, a lot of sun. You know, I was out working in the heat of the summer, you know, 100 to 120 degrees out there in the summer. And but then I was inside again, and I kind of got pale again. But then I was outside today, and the sun was just beating the shit out of me, too. So I got home. It's like I wasn't only tired from work, but you kind of depleted from the sun, like tearing you up all day long, you know? Yeah.
Bro. Today, I took an exam, like a placement aptitude exam for college.
What's up, Rebel? Yeah.
I haven't done anything like that in 20 years, dude. That shit was fucking intimidating.
Was it?
It really was, dude. It really was. It was fucking. I'm glad it was multiple choice because I was just doing like process elimination and shit. Like I was doing like. There's one I know I'm supposed to be doing like, and I won't talk about fucking. What's up, Dan? How you live, man?
Sorry, I hope you weren't talking too long, John. You know how.
No, that's all right. I had to set up all the microphones and shit. Everything's messed up.
When I'm like full screen, I can't see anybody backstage, which I think it's kind of shitty. You should still be able to see who's back screen. Stage.
No, I wasn't waiting long.
He's being selfish. He's not paying attention to you, John. That's what it is.
I never do.
Let's keep it real, man.
Yeah, I'm too busy flexing and talking.
It's not like you haven't seen me enough this week.
Right. Man, that was a good stream today, John. You guys fucking know your shit, man. My God. it's like
Yeah, I got
intimidating. Some of
fucked
this-
earlier with the technical problems because when I had Madam Sim backstage in the beginning, he's like, "Your
Yeah,
mic's
saw
not
that.
working. All this thing's fucked up," but it was all on his end. So I'm sitting here finagling like 10 minutes going over because I had the 2 windows, one for the turntable. I got like 12 variables. So I'm like, "Fuck," But it
Yeah, I was
wasn't.
watching the start of it, and then YouTube was echoing, and they disappeared, and it's like
There was like a bunch of
Yeah.
squealing. Like there was this
Yeah, that
high-pitched
was
squeal.
that
What
must.
the-
And I'm muting everybody, and I'm panicking. And whatever. Not panicking, but I can't find the mute button. I'm a little slow, and I got to do
What
like
a-
6
what-
of them.
What did it end up being? Somebody
I
else?
thought when I muted Garner, it ended, but I have a feeling it had to do with Madam Sin. He kept coming in and out, like you wouldn't see, but he'd come in and it would distort, and he'd get pulled out.
Yeah.
But it worked in the end.
That UK internet. Sheesh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that-
John, I don't want to know. Don't tell me what your costume's going to be on Saturday, but I'm really looking forward to it, man.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Actually, I dropped the ball because I was going to get face paint originally. I was going to get it on Amazon. I kept forgetting. So I was going to order it today, but then they tell me it's going to show up Saturday, and I didn't want to take a chance. So we've got these Spirit Halloween stores around here. You might have.
yeah,
them
I know
around
them.
your
Yeah,
area.
we use them.
And they open at 8 in the morning, so I'm actually going to go there before I go to work tomorrow and grab whatever I need.
Yeah, so I not to keep talking about it, I said I'm doing like we're playing a show, a Halloween show. We're doing a DJ gig, and the wife is too. We're like a team. But she's dressing up as King Diamond this year.
Oh, fuck yeah,
That's
dude.
It's gonna be a fucking good
So
costume.
Hey,
what-
she's probably,
what
about,
era?
she's probably
Like,
about the same height too, man.
Merciful Fate. Merciful
Like
Fate.
classic era King Diamond?
Yeah,
Or,
Merciful
he's
Fate,
got his
but,
new thing now.
The white shirt, cape, but just have the face paint. And she bought the fingerless gloves with the spikes on them, like a cheap version,
Yeah.
like
Nice.
the Halloween party version of them.
How tall's your wife?
I don't know, shorter
I
than me.
was gonna say, she probably she might be the same height as King Diamond. He's like
Was he that
5'4", I think.
Is he that short? I don't remember.
I met him in Philadelphia at a show, and I literally had to look down. I was like, "Hey,
Dude, he's
you're
shorter
not
than
scary
Dio.
at all."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I met him, but I was like 15 or 16 when I met him, so I was probably taller than me then.
Yeah, no, you're way taller than he is. What are you?
Oh, I'm sure I'm
5'11"-ish,
taller than him
John?
now. Yeah.
What are you?
What's that?
5'11", 6?
No, I'm 5'9".
5'9". Oh, yeah, he's short. I don't remember exactly, but I'd say maybe 5'6", 7, maybe. Literally, when I got next to him, I was like, "Oh," and he looked up, trying to be super Satan-y. He gave me that eyeball. He had the femur. He was waxing his femur microphone thing he's
Yeah.
got. He's like, this is real bone. I was like, cool, man, cool.
He could wail though, man. This time of year, man. The Merciful Fate, Halloween. That's a classic.
Yeah. But yeah, he's doing pretty good live. He's got that girl that's kind of doing the high pitched stuff behind him. She hides behind the staircase and stuff, but he's doing pretty good. I mean, for as long as he's been running, he sounds a lot better now than he has in the past. Honestly, he sounded like shit for a long time.
Yeah, I saw King Diamond a few years ago. They were fantastic. But Merciful Fate, I think in 2 weeks I'm seeing them, or 2.5 weeks.
Oh,
Nice.
With Creator, yeah, should be good.
Creator.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
That's a
dude.
classic lineup, too.
Yeah.
You see anybody backstage, John?
No, I don't see anyone.
Okay.
It's lonely.
It's a lonely thing what we do here. It's like reaching the top of the mountain. There's nobody up there to hang with you. So how you making out, Eric? Pick up anything
Yeah.
new?
Well, I said,
Anything you want to talk about? Why don't you show that Indian Summer LP? You got that handy?
I'll sneak it out. It's underneath my camera.
This is pretty cool, John. This is what is that? 1970? You said
71, Prague.
71.
Yeah, but hard jamming prog. A little psych tinge. I guess
Yeah.
they did homage to the fact that it's a British record because this thing's fucking flimsy as all get out. But like I say,
Yeah.
originals. I don't know. I posted in the video. You can actually see like a screenshot from Discogs of how stupid expensive they are. But this is like say I'm totally fine with the Karma repress.
What's an OG going for? Oh,
Hey,
what's
Steve.
shit, dude.
Hundreds.
What's
It
happening,
goes for
brother?
hundreds.
Good to see you, man. Man, you're making a lot of appearances lately, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been too lazy to do videos. This is a lot easier.
All right.
Yeah,
man.
it's
Got
a lot
got
easier
big
doing
boy
live
pants on.
streams.
It is. It's so
Especially
much
hopping
easier.
onto other people.
And you talk to people in real time, you know?
Yeah. Something
I was
different.
watching one of your videos earlier today, man. I was watching you show that Ripper Owens live Judas Priest album, man.
Yeah, I saw it, man. I'm so glad to have that. I've been looking for that for probably like 5 years. And I fucked up because you used to be able to get it for like $60. And I kept passing on. I was like, oh, no, I'll find it later. Now it goes for like $300.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
dude,
Everybody, this is Steve Harmless Rebel, who if you don't know him, he's been in the VC for a decade, I imagine, or close to.
Close, yeah. 2013.
old VC.
Yeah, so not yeah.
Old VC. That's right.
But yeah, that priest, man, I've wanted it. That's the only priest I didn't have on vinyl was the 98 Live.
Yeah.
And, I kept making offers to people online, and they'd blow me off, or they'd come back and say, yeah, well, I'll do it for this, and then it would always fall through. So I found some dude in the UK, or was it UK or Germany, that had a copy and shipped. It was like $150, which was way too much, but still, I've always wanted that. So it finally finished up the Priest collection.
So what I got the paying for it?
What's that?
How much?
$150.
Whoa, holy shit.
That's what it goes for. Dude, those Ripper albums are fucking expensive. I got bootlegs for the 2 Ripper albums.
Well, so I got the 2 Ripper albums back about 8 years ago. You could get them for like $50-$60.
Yeah,
and
smart.
I think I traded for them for the most. It didn't hurt. The new one didn't hurt because I did a record show maybe a month before. So I had set aside some money from the record show to get. There are a couple records I really wanted. That was one of them. So I didn't mind. And it's one of those. It's just going to keep going up. They're not going to repress it. They've already said they're going to press the Ripper stuff. So
it's crazy that it's a Ripper era Priest, and you're paying that. What's the most you paid for an LP?
Actually, the most I paid for an LP is $200, and it's actually that last Priest that they did. It's on my wall. So Pledge Music did I don't know if you guys remember Pledge Music, but they did a one-day sale of signed albums from the whole. It was signed by the whole band, including what the heck's his name? The one that can't play, Tipton, including Glenn Tipton. So it was signed by the whole band. They only did 100 of them, and they did them for like $75, and they sold out in minutes. Like I got the email, and within minutes of getting the email, I was on the website, and they had already sold out. So I waited about until I saw one on Facebook, or I'm sorry, on Discogs, and I kept messaging the guy until I pissed him off. And he wanted like $275, and I got him down to $200. And that's the most. And it's funny, that was the first thing that I had that was actually signed by Halford, because I've got a bunch of stuff signed by KK. And then since I bought that, I keep running across signed Priest stuff at different shops and stuff. So,
dude, right after I bought Firepower, I found out you could order online, and it was like limited supplies where you could get a whole, like, the band signed the whole thing. It was like $5 more than what you're buying from the record store. I was like, well, shit, I missed out on that.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, the Firepower sold out real quick.
Yeah,
it was a limited thing, and now they go for over $400. So.
Yeah. Did you buy that? I was in the hospital. I completely missed buying it. Well, not that I couldn't find it now, but the discussion and everything. Did you buy that KK's Priest?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
All right.
I didn't.
In the chat,
was never the best writer in that band. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Richard Tull was in the chat. He was the first guy, not the first, but he sampled that early. He had that record right away and played it on the VC and the YouTube. But,
yeah, the KK's Priest. Glenn Tipton's always been the big writer for that band. He's the one that wrote most of their great stuff. And KK, honestly, Richie Faulkner, I think he added new life to that band, because Firepower, I actually like it better than anything that they've released since the 80s. I like what's the one from '91?
Painkiller.
Painkiller.
Painkiller. I think that song is better than anything on the new album. But as a whole album, I think this new album blows away Painkiller as a whole album. And
see, I didn't get it. Man, I'm a huge Priest fan. I like Firepower, but I didn't get how some people were like putting in their top 5 and just going goo goo gaga over it.
That is the first album that I've bought in probably 10 years where I can sing the whole album beginning to end. I listened to it so much. That was in the CD player in my car for probably a good 3 months, pretty much solid. And I haven't done that since probably the 90s.
And I was also guilty. Like when I bought Firepower, it kind of like reinvigorated me wanting to listen to Priest. So when I bought it, I just ended up listening to all the old Priest.
Yeah.
And it's not like
The
I begrudged it's not like I begrudged Firepower. It just like had me like wanting to listen to Priest again. So next thing you know, you're listening to Sad Winds of Destiny and Stained Class and all the classics.
Honestly, that's the way most new stuff is, though. Like I got what is this? The new Megadeth.
Yeah.
And I listened to it, and it's really good. It's a great album. It's one of the best albums of the year. But any of these bands, when they put out something new that's really good, it just has me go back to the stuff I love from '88 or '80. You know what I mean? Every band.
Insane how subjective music can be to certain people.
Yeah,
and most people tell me that new Megadeth.
I saw Megadeth like 3 weeks ago, and they were he's still. His voice is starting to go. He can't hit the higher notes, so he's more monotone.
Yeah,
and he still rips. His guitar playing is still fantastic. And is it Kiko? Their guitar.
His speaking voice even has changed. I watched him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and
he's never had a great voice. I mean, let's be honest. He's always been a great songwriter though, and he's always I mean, still the best Metallica stuff that they ever released was the stuff that he wrote,
I see you got Mean Time behind you on the wall.
Yeah, that was I saw them.
They're touring right now.
Yeah, man, I was so happy to see them. And then actually, speaking of Judas Priest.
Oh yeah, Hero comp up there.
Yeah, that one's signed though. So that one's actually signed by Halford and KK.
Cool. You're not going to get those two signatures together anymore.
No. And honestly, like I said, I didn't like that KK's Priest. I didn't think it was anything special. Actually, what's worse is the Dave Ellefson. So, I was expecting Dave Ellefson to come out with something hard hitting, some really good thrash. And I don't know if you guys listen to that album, The Lucid. It's one of the worst records I've ever heard. It's like modern hard rock and not very good modern hard rock. I mean, you can definitely tell that Ellefson hasn't been writing for Megadeth because, it was terrible. He
was like, they always reminded me of like Musicians for Hire kind of guys.
Well, they always were. I mean, let's be honest. That's always been from day one, every couple albums he fired everybody but Ellefson.
Yeah, there's guys who start bands together and then they like have ideas and a vision. And then there's the guys you hire, who come in. I play hot shot guitar.
Great interview with him because, everybody considers him a guitar god. But he'll be the first one to tell you that the guys that he hires he always hires guys that are better than him to play the lead. He had Marty Friedman, who's I think one of the best guitarists of the last 50 years.
Yeah.
And now this new guy Kiko, who is from a progressive metal band, he's a Brazilian guy. He killed it when I saw him a couple weeks ago. So it was cool to see. But yeah, I'm the same way as you though. A lot of these new bands, whenever they put out a new record, I listen to it and I like it for a couple weeks, and then it goes on the shelf. And when I'm in the mood for one of those bands, I pull out the classic albums.
Firepower was the one exception I was looking forward. And my other exceptions were I always stayed up to date with Saxon and Motorhead. For some reason, I love those two bands. But all the other 80s bands,
and I don't think I've even listened to all the records in it. I love those early Saxon.
Yeah, I have a Saxon box set.
Oh, you're good.
I bought all those CDs when they came out through the 90s. They were one of the only bands I followed after I got out of the 80s stuff. But
I know a lot of people were swearing by the new Overkill, but I guess I never gave it a shot. I don't know if anyone has an opinion on that.
The older I get, the less I like Overkill. I don't
okay.
I always liked them. I've seen them live and they're great, but I never feel that, if I'm in the mood for thrash, Overkill is never the band I go to.
Yeah, I think that first album is one of my favorites. Field of Fire is still one of my all-time favorite records.
And I like the EP and they've got those first few albums I'll go to from time to time. I don't know. The other one I don't go to anymore is Exodus. I saw Exodus live last year, and I don't know that I'll ever be into it. They were so bad.
I saw Exodus too, and they were not good.
And Gary Holt, everybody talks about how great he is. He was terrible. He was about half a note off the entire show. And actually, what's crazy, I didn't get into Death Angel until a few years ago. Death Angel sound better than they did in the 80s, man. They blew everybody else away on the stage. I mean, it was, and they were the opening act. It was them, Overkill, and Testament. Sadly, Dave Lombardo's always been my favorite drummer, and now that he's back with Testament, he was off too. And maybe it's because last 3 times I've seen him, it's with Gene Hoglan, who's probably one of the greatest drummers, metal drummers ever. But Dave was missing stuff left and right.
Yeah.
Whereas
Well, he's got to be like 62 or 60.
Yeah.
Now this has been several years now, but a couple friends are bragging that they saw Accept a few years ago, and they were still kicking ass. Now they got the lead singer from TT Quick now, though.
I tell you what,
they had him for a while.
They made.
Yeah,
that Blind Rage with that fire breathing warthog on it.
But Accept played not by me, but it played in New Hampshire last night. I think it was last night. I had friends who went, but it was just too far of a trek.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Who's singing for him now?
Mark Tornillo.
Yeah,
that's the guy from TT Quick, right?
Yeah,
right.
He's
there.
fantastic.
Right there. So we were in Brazil visiting my wife's family, and we were in the airport, and I saw his little goatee. I was like, "Holy fuck, that's Mark Tornillo!" And I walked over there, and then I saw Wolf, and took pictures. Man, they were cool as hell. But yeah,
I think
in Brazil of all places.
I think he's he was from TT Quick in the 80s. I think he's a construction worker, and he joined up with Accept, and he gets to do these like big tours, and he goes back to work. Pretty good deal.
I tell you,
he's got the pipes.
Every vocalist who was the second guy that they had? He was.
Oh
really
yeah,
good
I have
too.
that record, but yeah, it's not that good if I remember.
No,
the one like it was like 89, 90.
Yeah, he did a couple albums with him, and then Udo came back, and then but Mark Tornillo's actually, I think their last couple albums have been really good.
That someone I used to go to this dive bar I used to DJ at, and they had Metal Mondays, and so I was there, and I walked in one day. It's like right when the album was about to drop, it hadn't even come out yet. They just released a video, and it was Stampede off that Blind Rage album. I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And they're just like, "Dude, this is Accept." And I was like, "No, it's in." It's like, "Yeah, dude, album hasn't even come out yet." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I think it was on Nuclear Blast.
Yeah.
So I went to a local shop and said, "Are you going to get a copy of this?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll get a copy for you." And I bought that. I was like, "That shit was pretty electric."
Yeah, Blind Rage was great. The album after it wasn't so good, though.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I never really gave it a go. The last one after Blind Rage.
The last one was pretty good, but if you don't have the same politics, they're more kind of right center guys. So if you're not like a right wing guy, you probably won't be into their newest album. But it was still pretty good. And they were cool. Like I said, I bumped into them in the airport. They hung out with us for like 15 minutes, talking to us and taking pictures, and it was cool. But yeah, I would love to see them. I haven't seen them live. The last couple times they've come through, it's been too far away for me to travel. But
Aaron's out. He's in the crowd right now. He says he saw Maiden on Tuesday and they kicked ass.
I saw Maiden right before the pandemic, and I was blown away.
Yeah, that's when I saw him. That show was the set list was unbelievable.
Because their albums haven't been great. I haven't liked most of their albums for the last 15 years, but the last few albums I have, there's been songs I've liked. Mm-hmm. It's just too much, and I don't think he sounds good on vocals anymore on the albums. But man, when you see him live, and he may be auto tuning and using backing vocal, I don't know, but he sounds.
I don't think so. Yeah, my wife
took around the stage the whole time.
Yeah, my wife took my son to see Maiden last week, and they had a great time. And I saw footage. It was basically the same set, besides 3 new songs added in as the show we saw.
Do you remember their worst album cover? I think it was "Dance of Death" with the kind of early CGI, whatever. That had a track on it called "No More Lies." That is a top 5 all-time Maiden track for me. I fucking love that track.
Well, what's funny is I did a review of the Blaze Bayley stuff like 7 or 8 years ago, and one of my big things was "The Klansman" is one of my all-time favorite Maiden albums, and I've always said I would love to hear that song with Bruce Dickinson on vocals. And for that tour in 2019, they added it to the set list, and blown away.
What was that? The Beast? What was the name of the tour?
Legacy of the Beast, I think.
Legacy of the Beast. Yeah, I saw him in Charlotte, North Carolina at that time.
Yeah, I saw him here in Atlanta, and the opening band was pretty good too. I think it was like his son's band or his nephew's band or something like that.
I thought they were kind of weak, but I might have caught a different show,
And the tour before that, I think, was his daughter's band, if I remember.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I
Have
mean,
you guys,
yeah.
did you check out British Lions or whatever?
Yeah,
how
I
was
only
it?
heard it online. It wasn't very good to
I
me.
didn't end up buying it. I wanted to. I meant to go and see it, and I forgot about it because I heard he was signing the Maiden stuff at the shows.
You know who else is kicking ass recently? Like, he actually blew my mind at how good he was Wasp. Blackie is tearing it up live.
Dude, I'm so mad. I
sounds
want to
fucking
go to that
He
show.
sounds better now than he
They're
did
playing
in the fucking
here
80s.
on the night after
And
Thanksgiving.
he's old.
Yeah.
He's
I
old.
couldn't
He's
fucking
older than.
believe it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the register that this guy was singing on was
Well,
insane.
his last few albums have been pretty good. I mean, it's different than his early stuff, but I've bought all of his albums. But yeah, he's coming here the day after Thanksgiving, and we're going to be in Louisiana visiting family. So I was pretty upset about that.
Are you in the Atlanta area?
Yeah, I'm in Marietta, just north of Atlanta.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly where you are. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. We're not too far apart.
Yeah, I just drove through there. Like I said, I was in Asheville last weekend, so we drove right through there.
Yeah. I went to Asheville, so man, kind of a bust. You know, I found a Standells record. I didn't have any Standells in my collection, so that was dope. You know, but nothing really jumped out. But it was cool, digging and flipping always.
Oh, what's funny is Dylan from Noble Records was there too at the same time.
Yeah. I missed him by a couple days. I wanted to go to that show, but
I can't get into the Zamrock stuff. There's a couple of songs here and there, but I don't know what it is. I haven't been able to get into any of those bands.
It's not all created equal. Like some people, I don't know, they just dive into a genre, and it's like anything within that genre they accept. There's a lot of that, like, and a lot of the stuff that people call Zamrock too. A lot of those bands are from, like Nigerian bands or South African bands or like bands from Ghana. Like OC Bisa is like actually like they're all from Ghana, but they formed in London. So a lot of those bands that have those African ties aren't even like truly Zamrock. But I like Witch. I like a lot of that shit. But some of them too is like when you got a musician like say like Fela Kuti, you're just like, dude, you got 45 albums. I'm supposed to know what. Like, and I get it too. I'm a King Gizzard fan. You know what I mean? So, like, if someone's just like, I don't even know.
Every time I go to the record store, there's
Hey, Aaron, you said you were in Philadelphia earlier in the beginning, and you went Did you get anything? I was kind of running around when you were talking. Did you show it already?
Yeah. No, I can show it again. Well, I got the Ultimate Spinach, obviously.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
And I found the other Blodwin Pig.
Okay. Yeah.
Abraham from Tull. This was one of his jams. So
That's the second one now.
Yeah, and I picked up a couple soundtracks. I got Clint Eastwood, The Gauntlet. Yeah. I dig it because it's music from. It's not like songs, you know what I mean, like band songs. It's music from the movie, which is they're the kind of soundtracks I really dig. And what else? I picked up the second Cadaver.
Cadaver's great.
Yeah, this is a really solid fucking album. I almost like this more than the first one. Production is way, way better on this one than the first one. The first one,
I really like. Is it Berlin, the third one?
Yeah, they get a little kind of tepid after that. And another soundtrack. Peter Fonda's like first movie called The Trip.
Yeah, I heard you guys talk. I was kind of half in, half doing other things.
Yeah. So that's what I picked up on Saturday with Sean. Sean Spins over in Philadelphia. Then we went to the Mutter Museum. We went to the Medical Oddities Museum. I don't know if you hear of that place? Anybody hear of the Mutter Museum?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've never.
Okay, it's fun. We went in there.
My buddy's into that stuff, or used to be into that stuff before he had a kid, and like he'd
go
to his house.
Surreal, man.
A lot of Jaws.
I've never been there. It's pretty surreal. And we go in, and you're not allowed to take pictures. You can't take video. I'm like in 3 seconds, and I'm already taking pictures. Security comes up behind me. He's like, "Hey, you're not allowed to take pictures." I was like, "Well, you better keep following me around because I'm not done yet." So immediately, two guys start following me around. So I had my corduroy jacket on. So I take my phone, and I hit video and record, and I put it in my pocket so the camera's facing out. And I'm walking around like this, And I actually got some pretty good footage. But they knew I was doing it, but nobody had the balls to actually say anything. And Sean was getting upset. He's getting worried that I was going to start shit or they were going to start shit.
Yeah.
But I actually got some good video, and I'm going to put it up on the channel.
You won't want to be that guy that gets kicked out of the museum.
My best friend Bob was into that stuff years ago, and he'd have the Jaws. I think he sold it to that shop in New York that had a TV show, a lot of stuff. But
that
he still got
show.
like like Ether from 1942. But anyway, we were playing with a punk band in Providence. They were friends of ours, but one of the guys' girlfriends worked at a morgue or whatever. Like she was a mortician or whatever. But she had a baby casket that was resumed. Like they had to dig it up for some sort of autopsy.
Oh shit.
And so he's like, "Oh, give me. I want the baby casket. You know, the baby coffin."
Dude, that's too
And we're at the gig, and when we loading up the amps, he couldn't fit it. And so I'm like, I'll take it. It was just in a hefty bag, this thing. I didn't even look at it. I'm like, sure, I'll take it. And I've been drinking. Now I got to drive like it's now 2 a.m, and we're the only ones on the road. And I'm driving back to Boston with the baby casket. And when I get home and I opened the bag, it was like all covered in dirt. And you opened it. It was like this cheap pine box. It smelled like a dead body, and it was all like decomposed in it. It was awful. But I was picturing this nice, like cool looking casket. It was just a pine box. I'm like, I went in the car, I drove this thing, and I'm playing. If the cops pulled me over and found that there, like, what do you got there? Like, and like, who gave it to you? Like, I didn't know the chick's name. I couldn't even remember I knew like the bass player's first name. Like, how would I have explained this? It's got dirt on it.
What'd you do with it?
I stuck it in. It couldn't come in the house because as soon as I opened it, it stunk like dead body. I put it in the foyer. And I called Bob up. I'm like, you got to get this, man. And I had to take it to him, and he put it in the attic. And I don't know what he did with it, but he's like, this is not what I pictured. It wasn't something you could put on the wall or.
No. Here's the only picture I got, and I see some skeletons there, man.
Yeah.
One of them's like, one is like 10 feet tall. The other one's like just a regular, and then there's a little guy down there on the bottom.
Yeah, so the scale doesn't even do. Yeah, you have to be there in person to really get the scale of it, don't you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's all kinds of crazy shit.
I remember a while. It was kind of cheap. Some of it was
oddities,
like some of it was really cheesy, but they used to have a Ripley's Believe It or Not in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and you go next to like the world's tallest guy or whatever, and they do like exact replica, and you just stand and you're just like, holy shit, you know what I mean? You can't even believe some of these things,
It was pretty fucking surreal staring at some of this shit. Like, they had a lot of infants and babies, and they had like a 3-year-old baby, and it was like in a Jesus Christ pose. It was like that, but they stripped all the skin off and all the muscles, so just like the veins were there and shit, and like filled it with wax. A giant colon, like a massive fucking colon, looked like a fucking tuba. It was so fucking big, and skulls. Like this doctor like collected skulls. There was like 100 skulls in there, in this cabinet, and there's like descriptions of what they were and what they died from, and even some like Egyptian skulls were in there. You could see the resin that they covered them in, was you could see the linen and stuff on them, and really crazy shit, man. And
when we were
the place is full of people, you know what I mean? It was really packed that day, and I got a little weirded out towards the end because I was thinking, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm around like 200 people. I'd hate to die from COVID because I went to the Mutter Museum. That'd be kind of ironic. I'd end up, some kind of exhibit in there,
When we were in Japan, the tattoo shop where my wife got one of her tattoos, it was an old guy, real traditional, and they had the skulls and the animal skulls, but he had these little a framed little thing of packets, and each one had some little scribble, the Japanese caricatures on it. And I kept looking at it. My wife finally asked him what it was, and it was pinky fingers that had been cut off by members of the Yakuza who it was like an honor for him to receive that when he did their tattoos. And he had like a little frame thing with little packets of pinkies.
Nice. It's some crazy shit. Like when they're dishonored or something, or I do something wrong, they got to cut their own.
Well, they don't. Yeah, well, that's what people think from the movies, but actually, there's other stuff. Like if the boss of the family dies, they'll actually cut off a piece of their pinky and bury it with them. So I mean, there's a lot of ceremonial stuff behind it, and the mafia in Japan is not like the mafia anywhere else. It's part of culture, so you can't live in Japan without knowing the mafia guys. Any bar that you go to, any restaurant, they're usually backed by the Yakuza. So and you'll be walking through the neighborhood and you know who they are. Yeah, it's real funny. Like Americans get a lot of crap in Japan because we like tattoos, and it's still looked down upon in Japan. Americans wear sunglasses. In Japan, only the Yakuza wear sunglasses. They've got special license plates. Like if you see a license plate where all the numbers are the same number, that's a Yakuza, some kind of leader in the mafia. Just crazy little stuff that you learn as you live there. But and they're normal people, like you see them, you get to know them. You don't want to do any kind of business with them because there's always, we had a guy that was stationed there with me that got busted. He became real friendly with one of the Yakuza guys, and the guy asked him to let him ship some stuff to him. And it turned out that drugs were being shipped to him on the base, and the police started watching him, and over like 3 months, they busted him for all these drugs that had been coming in from the States that he was given to the Yakuza guy without even knowing it, without even knowing it.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those favors,
But yeah, I mean, it's really ingrained in the entire culture there. So, but
They wouldn't like me too much, I guess, huh?
What's that?
They wouldn't like me. Sunglasses, tattoos. And,
Oh no, I'm the same. You guys can't see. My whole leg is tattooed. I've got traditional Japanese tattoos all down my leg. Half of my leg is a dragon and the tsunami and all that stuff. But
yeah, Japan still has don't they still have like public pools and
yeah, I couldn't go to
dressing
any
rooms
hot
and-
springs. I couldn't go to any public pools.
Yeah.
When I walked around with shorts on, which I did all the time, the older people would really stare at you. It's kind of changing now because the young culture in Japan is getting into it. And Japan's got some of the best. Have you looked at the rockabilly culture in Japan, John?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The rockabilly culture in Japan is one of the coolest rockabilly groups you'll ever see.
Yeah, and they also have like a subculture in that where they're like Chicano.
Oh yeah.
The thing about Japanese culture is they're very good imitators.
Yeah. They don't add anything to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a copy. It's like the art of copying is almost more than what they're actually doing, like more important than the actual rockabilly or whatever rock and roll they're doing. But we played with some Japanese bands, and they would have $300 worth of like vintage denim from America 1950s,
and they don't just do it. They they're pumping. I mean, their hair comes out to here. It's not like just
that's a different. Yeah, we were the more authentic scene, so you'd have to look like you came from the 50s.
It wasn't the clown show. They would pay a couple $100,000 to have a custom rat rod built. That we would build here with junkyard parts. They would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get something authentic built. For instance, one of the guys that I knew, he spent like $15,000 to get a flathead motor sent to Japan that we could buy here, for a couple $100. I mean, so they go all out though. But yeah, it's a copycat thing, but it's a lot of fun to hang out with those guys.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun because they used to come with and they'd come with a whole pack with like their girls and everyone was all dressed up, and we were like compared to them, we were pirates, like just drinking, drugging, and smoking, and they would be terrified. We had a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
terrorizing them.
Some of them drink, but that's about it.
I remember we grabbed one of the guys, and because like our hotel room was just like loaded with beer and smoke, and grabbed the guy in. He thought we were going to kill him. Like the other people ran away.
Yeah, it's fine. They're you think they're pretty tough guys until you get to know them, and they're all kind of sweethearts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the different culture, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's funny. There's guys in Japan that are famous for that. I don't remember who the band is, but there was a band like a modern rock band that just did a video a couple years ago with the Yogi Park rockabilly guys, the ones that are all real over the top.
Yeah, those like the dance scene thing. Yeah.
And some of those guys have been going to that park every weekend for 20, 30 years. So there's guys in their 60s. That's their thing. Every weekend they show up on their Harleys, and they have these cafe'd out Harleys and cafe'd out bikes. They show up, and that's what they do the whole weekend. They just sit there, drink and dance, do their rockabilly dances. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but my old band was a very small time band. We put out a single, or a single was put out, but it ended up being bootlegged. Then I off on a Japanese compilation, like for DJs, and it was like a minor club hit, like 10 years after the fact. And I had to buy this bootleg of my own single it cost me like $80.
So
funny.
I found some really shitty rockabilly 7 inches about a year and a half ago they were terrible, like the Rolling 99s and just terrible bands. It's like
Yeah, so if it's
third or
bad
fourth
rockabilly,
great
it's bad.
rockabilly. And I looked on, I bought them like $1 a piece, and I ended up selling them for like $60-$70 a piece to Japan. I mean,
Oh wow.
And I don't know if they just don't get the really good rockabilly or
They get it all. If you want to buy
Stuff
something,
lost in
Japan
translation.
has it.
but they really love obscure stuff there. So the singles and stuff, just crazy. And it's funny. I was really excited.
Same with metal. You know, they grab all the metal too. You know,
Metal in Japan. So I used to DJ in Japan, and I did the metal and the hard rock nights in the late 90s. Metal, everything there is at the next level. So like metal shows, you'll see a small arena, and like a band like Raven will go there, and there'll be 2,000, 3,000 people stuffed into this place. Here in the U.S., you go to see Raven, there's literally like 15 people in the crowd. You know, there's so much more. Or John, what's the band? Oh God, what's the power metal band you really like?
Riot.
No,
Probably no.
Over
What
the
era?
top- Over the top metal guys. Hell to England.
Oh, Manowar. Oh yeah, Manowar.
Thank you. Manowar there is monstrous. You know, the more over the top a band is, the more the Japanese are into them.
Yeah, Manowar are actually huge everywhere except for
Yeah.
like England and America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
In
we're
my
all too
house.
pretentious for Manowar.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay,
They
yeah.
took that
I got
bad
two
photo
Manowar
shoot.
albums.
That one bad photo shoot killed them in America.
Oh, the loincloths. Yeah, dude.
That
Yeah.
was a loincloth in that video, yeah.
And
The
did
one
they
with the
kind of
abs and
redid
all
that
sticking
album
out?
cover again, but
Yeah.
art, right?
Which you know, people miss the point. Like if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it because like Halford coming out in a motorcycle with all leather, like that's okay. Or Anthrax coming out with the silly shorts and the rapping, we're like that's okay. But the loincloths, that's it. You know.
I don't know. That's when Anthrax lost me too.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. We're okay with like Michael
What's up, Bill?
Jackson, but
What's funny is at the same time we were loving movies like Beastmaster and Conan,
Yeah.
but we were talking shit about
Dude,
it.
but if
I
you
grew up on-
that's why I love Man of War. If you're gonna go in, go all in. You know,
What's
don't
up,
do this
Ron?
half-ass.
I hadn't seen Beastmaster in years, and I just grew up with it, and I thought, man, what a fucking classic! How come people don't talk about this movie? It's fucking amazing.
You went
And then
back
I
and watched
revisited it, and I was like, oh shit!
That's why.
Yeah, I watched
so
it like
bad.
2 or 3 years
And
ago.
the second-
It's on YouTube.
Have you seen the second Beastmaster when he travels in time to Hollywood? Beastmaster
No,
2?
it's a TV
I had
show,
no idea
too.
there was a second.
Travel. Oh no.
Bro, Beastmaster 2 is so fantastically bad that it's awesome. But I just thought Beastmaster, I said, how could that be? Because Beastmaster 1 was so fucking amazing. And then I watched Beastmaster 1 and I was like, oh, well, yeah. But I mean, there's still cool elements about it. But then you're like, man, this is rough.
Yeah.
What was the
You know?
scene where the dude's sitting in that vat of oil? He's trying to like melt his dick off.
Yeah. And even like Conan doesn't hit like it used to. You know, the first Conan's good. The second one was rough.
Conan a few years ago. It doesn't do it for
Yeah.
me. Well, it's like the horror movies from back in the 80s. I still like watching them from time to time, but man, I remember watching Phantasm and thinking that was the greatest movie, and I watched it again a couple years ago. I was like, dude, this is so bad.
Oh,
fucking
I love that movie, man.
No,
I love that
I like
movie.
it.
Yeah,
Children of the
I
Corn's the
fucking
same
love
way. You know,
Phantasm, dude.
Children of the Corn messed with my head when I was a kid. You watch it now, it's pretty cheesy, you know.
Yeah, I was a little. I'm probably just a couple years older than you. Children of the Corn was like not that scary, but
There's still some things that like hold up,
kids
but
were
don't
annoying.
hold up. Like Christine, the special effects in the car, like when the car reanimates and like expands itself, like that's still like great special effects. But like all the 35-year-old teenagers in high school, you know, and like the bad acting, like it's pretty rough. But it's kind of
Well,
so
that's what
bad
all
it's
those
awesome.
movies were. But I tell you what, the ones that still, I went back a couple years ago and watched the first few Friday the 13th.
Mhm.
Those are all those first three are still great. I don't know about the rest of them, but those first few, the Halloweens are still pretty good. But yeah,
that first one's a good movie.
yeah,
You know, it's a legit movie. You know.
What one?
yeah, that's a problem with those. That you know, they had to put them out every year once they became a franchise. You know,
You
That's
know,
like-
as soon as you released it, you were like the very next Friday the 13th on the calendar or Halloween, you have to have a movie ready. Try to
well, now they
capitalize on
redo them and ruin it. Like that first Candyman, I thought was one of the best horror movies of the '90s.
Yeah, I
And
saw that in the theater. Yeah.
Yeah, they just redid those.
Yeah, I saw the remake. I just more or less went through the motions, and then it was over, and you're like, okay, I guess I saw it.
They tried to remake Friday the 13th. It was a bomb.
The Evil Dead's were my favorite. You know,
Yeah,
those,
Evil
the
Dead.
first
I
two.
liked all
Yeah.
the Evil Dead.
I love those,
And,
man.
I liked
Yeah.
Army of Darkness too. Even as crazy.
Yeah.
as
The
it was.
cheesy, this is my boomstick.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a couple I just got in my soundtrack collection. I got Christine. I got Evil Dead. Yeah,
I need to
got
go
a
back
bunch
and
in
watch
there.
Salem's Lot. I really.
This
like
is
that.
actually good Halloween discussion here.
Yeah. Very
The
true.
accidental Halloween discussion we just stumbled into.
It's
And
interesting
right on.
'cause It's funny,
Yeah.
John, because I thought we were gonna. I was gonna struggle to come up with, kind of set list. I was gonna pick like individual songs that had like the kind of theme, but Halloweeny stuff, I didn't think about until we just brought up soundtracks. I got a ton.
Yeah,
of
you
that
know what?
shit,
You should
man.
do that. Yeah,
Like
because I don't have that stuff. I have
Phantasm,
very
like-
little.
I don't have a
Yeah,
lot of. I have a lot of comps. I don't have a lot of soundtracks.
Yeah,
Did you guys?
Yeah, I got some Halloween comps, but not
Soundtracks
too
is a
much.
great
Yeah.
idea, Aaron.
I've never. It's funny because all the streams that I've done and all the Hydra shit I've done, us guys, and the album spotlights and shit. I've never. I'm thinking maybe that there aren't that many people that would be into that, but I've got hundreds of fucking killer OSTs and soundtracks and shit that I could really, I think are
Yeah.
really awesome.
It works.
Not
We
just
only
like
do
shitty soundtracks where they're just terrible band songs, but like OSTs, like really immersive kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
There's some really good ones out there. The
It's a
problem
good night to do it. 2 25-minute sets. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
The
It's
problem is
Halloween.
The ones I really want are all like $150, $200 now.
Yeah.
Like
A
I
lot
would
of
love
those.
to-
Yeah, a lot of that stuff I haven't heard since I saw those
Yeah.
movies 20 years ago. So I'd love to hear them.
I just ran across. You remember Suburbia, the punk movie with Flea in it?
Yep.
I just
Yeah.
ran across that soundtrack. It's like $190 now for that thing. Yeah, it's a great soundtrack. That's got Richard Hung himself from DI. I mean, it's a great soundtrack. But yeah, a lot
Some of that shit's expensive. Like the fucking I got a copy of it, man, and I should have looked at it before I bought it because it's kind of beat up. But like Repo Man, the original ones on San Andreas.
I
Yeah.
got that at a dollar store, or not a dollar store, a Goodwill, like 15 years ago.
Yeah, the original ones with the San Andreas Fist are worth the money because after that it was like a CBS center label, and they're like huge drop off in value.
I just want the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the price. I mean, it's fucking
Yeah.
stupid when you're trying to buy one of the originals, but yeah, it's got suicidal tendencies and all that's a fucking rad soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Return of
Actually,
the
like
Living
the
Dead. That's one I've been
soundtrack is
seeing
Demon
lately.
Night. I don't know if you guys
Return of the
remember
Living
that
Dead. Yeah, I
You
need to
have
get
that
that
one,
one.
John? I think
No,
you-
I need to get
No,
it. I got a lot of the
thought you would have
tracks.
had that
but-
just because of the kind of punk feel,
Which
Yeah,
one?
I never got it. I probably have a lot of the tracks off it, but I just never grabbed it.
Yeah,
one?
I'm seeing it here and there, like out in the bins.
You know what it is? I never really looked through soundtracks. That would always be in the soundtrack section. I never looked there.
Yeah.
You look
What
through
movie?
metal, I look through punk, and then do the alphabet. I never really looked.
What movie are you guys talking about?
Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, I just bought a repress of that a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm seeing the repressor. It's funny because you didn't see that for years and years and years, and now
Yeah.
you see it here, you see it there. I'm waiting
Did-
for it to go down a little bit because I was seeing it in like the high 20s, and I'm
Didn't Waxwork or Mondo do a special edition of it?
I bought it from
don't know.
is it Real Gone
I don't
Music?
know that they
think?
did, Aaron.
Did it for like $22.
I think Waxwork or Mondo did a special edition of it. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I bought
But-
that one, and Demon Night is great. It was my introduction to Pantera. That was the first soundtrack with Pantera on
What's up,
it.
Bill? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming by, Bill.
Have you guys seen Turbo Kid?
No,
you seen
that
that
sounds
movie?
terrible.
So it's actually
Is that like 1986?
I was
No,
gonna say it's
it came out
same
like
era
3
Solar
years ago.
Babies.
Oh, 'cause Turbo was such an 80s word.
no.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. It's an '80s movie. They were going for it's like a mix of like Mad Max and BMX Bandits, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
soundtrack
yeah.
is total '80s synth cheese. It's fantastic. It's like a slasher with elements of Mad Max and BMX Bandits. And somebody
Do you
told me,
remember?
I was like, dude, that sounds so stupid. I've watched it like 10 times.
This has nothing to do with music, but do you just remember the '80s BMX movie Rad?
Oh, I've
Oh
got
fuck
it.
yeah, dude!
I just
Just
they just put it out on Blu-ray about
It
a
wasn't.
year ago,
It was
and I
not.
bought it and played
It
with
was
my
not
daughter.
Rad.
My daughter loved it.
and man, there was like some surfer movie too, with like this. Well, he's supposed to be like
Point
cute. No, it's like this kid's like from like Arizona and he wants to learn to surf, so he goes to Hawaii to learn to surf and then makes friends with another white dude and starts making boards. Oh man, what the fuck is that movie? Oh shit. Oh man, I don't know. I'll think about it in 3 days randomly. Well, at a point that isn't prudent, and just bust out with it.
Well,
Aaron
Rad
said he
Eric-
watched Rad about 50,000 times.
I was going to say,
growing
Eric,
up.
we're talking movies, and Eric Bauer's in the peanut gallery. He's the
Eric
expert.
Bauer
you know.
said Turbo Kid rules. Can we kick him out? Is there any way we can get rid of him? No, I'm just kidding.
What was Eddie Van Halen's wife's name?
No, Rad wasn't one of the
Valerie
worst.
Bertinelli.
Solar
I
Babies.
think she was
that
in the
a
movie.
gem.
Yeah, that was good. Well, Rad, the funny thing about that was they couldn't. It was only on VHS for like 30 years because of
As
the
it should
soundtrack.
be. As it should be.
Because of the soundtrack. They didn't have the rights for all the songs, so they couldn't reissue it digitally. And I guess they finally worked it out because it's on Blu-ray now. Yeah, it's not as good as I remember it, but I did end up getting. That's like Dudes. You remember Dudes from the late 80s?
Yeah.
No.
And-
It was the guy from River's
From
Edge, right? Was one of the guys from River's Edge in there?
Oh, and it's a guy from Pretty in Pink.
Maybe I think something else.
Yeah, no, this is about a couple of like New York or LA punks that end up going to a dude band.
No, Eric. Actually,
No,
why don't you
I don't
come
know
on
that.
up, Eric?
I know the name. I don't know it.
Come
But
on up.
it's a great soundtrack. But yeah, it's another one. I bought it on Blu-ray, and it's a horrible movie. I still love Crybaby though. They just did that one on Blu-ray. Have you seen? Yeah, you've got to have seen that one, John. With
Yeah, I saw that. Is that
Dude,
the one with Iggy Pop in there? Is Iggy
yeah,
Pop
with
in
Iggy
there?
Pop, where
Yeah.
they're kind of making fun of the rockabilly.
Dude,
Yeah, it
Hatchet's
was like
face is hard.
Yep.
Dude, Hatchet's face is really uncomfortable to look at. They did a good job because
Oh,
she's
yeah, Hatchet
really,
Face. I love Hatchet Face. Yes, I remember that movie now. Yeah.
but she's hard to look at, dude. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, she
Oh, I
was
love
like
her.
40 years old
Yeah.
or something when she did that too. They
Yeah.
were making fun of Grease because what's her name from Grease was like 38 years old when she did. You know who I'm talking about from the.
Yeah, the one who played Brizzo.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. It was John, right? Samson John from River's Edge. That's what I thought.
Okay. Yeah. There we go.
I just got that soundtrack too not too long ago.
What's that?
River's Edge.
Yeah, that's a good one. That had some. I saw that in the theater. That did like great metal at the time.
Yeah.
Dude,
for
there's so
National.
many good soundtracks from the 80s.
My favorite, I brought it up early, was Less Than Zero because it had all
Yeah,
those
I've got that
exclusive tracks. Had Slayer doing Iron Butterfly, Poison doing Kiss, Joan Jett doing something. I don't remember what she did. Rock and Roll, Boogie Woogie Flu maybe or something.
It
Or
took
maybe
me
Aerosmith did
Find
that.
that one. That was a hard one to
Bangles.
find.
Yeah, it was all exclusive tracks. Danzig's on now.
No,
Yeah,
the one of the worst soundtracks though from the '80s though. I love. We were talking about Priest earlier. Johnny Be Good, the
Oh, I
cover
know.
by Juice Priest.
Oh, no.
Once again,
That is rock bottom.
isn't that
I
from Ram It
fucking
Down?
hate
Ram It Down.
Yeah, and that's
ram
like
it,
why-
ram it down.
that's
I
why
cannot
everyone hates Ram It Down, dude.
I love Judas Priest, one of my all-time favorite bands. I cannot listen to that album.
I fucking Ram It Down?
Yeah, I hate it.
Oh, dude, Ram It Down, Jawbreaker, dude. Yeah, just
No,
ignore what the
Jawbreaker's
lyrics
off
are
of
about.
Dependence of the Faith, I think.
Oh yeah. Ram It Down.
Yeah, Ram It Down's
Ram It
off.
Down's a blue cover.
What's the other one on that? What's the other big track on that one?
There wasn't a big track on it.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
None.
Relatively
Turbo, I
speaking.
didn't like Turbo when it came out, but it grew on me. Ram It Down never grew on me.
Oh my God, Turbo. grew
Oh, I
on
put
you?
Ram It Down above.
Yeah, Turbo. I kind of
Turbo's
get it. I haven't
overplayed.
put it on, but I get a kick out of hearing those songs because I was there when that came out. I saw
Yeah.
that concert, you
Yeah.
know.
But
But
he's still. When I saw him, the last two times I saw him, he played Turbo Lever, and it's
yeah, you
it's-
didn't. I saw them 2 weeks ago. They had no Turbo in there.
Oh, really? When I saw him, I saw him. So we were like the first show after Richie Faulkner's heart attack. So he had the heart attack like 2 days before he was supposed to play here, and then once he recovered, ours was the first show, and they had it. They did play it, but Rob didn't. Rob definitely sounded worse for the wear. Because when I
Yeah.
saw him in 2019 with Deep Purple, he sounded fantastic, and you can hear the difference in his voice
Yeah.
just from that couple years.
Halford
like
sounded
71 then?
better. Yeah, he's 71. He sounded
71,
better
yeah.
this time than last time I saw him. But
Oh,
he
really?
definitely aged. He's moving like a robot. Like he's getting old and
Yeah.
losing Tipton. You know, having the two new guitarists, it was tough. It was feeling like an old
Yeah.
They were losing it, you know.
Yeah,
I think it's the last time I'll see him.
when I saw him in 2019, Glenn wasn't there at all. When I saw him this time, Glenn came out and did like 3 songs, I think, at the end. But yeah, you could tell that he was in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, it's too bad. Such a great
And, yeah,
band. Hey, welcome, Eric.
Hey, what's
Barrett?
up,
What's up, Barrett? How you doing, man?
What's going on? I
Living
was going to say, I'm a stained
but-
glass Eric
Dude,
guy. I
Blood
like
Red
stained glass.
Skies is on
Yeah,
Ram
me
It
too,
Down,
Aaron.
and Blood Red Skies is a fucking killer track.
Keep telling yourself that.
Oh man, I'm not. That's a fucking killer track, dude. I'm not listening to
I
that.
like it.
is Weinbender trying to defend Ram It Down? Is
Yeah,
that
he's
what
No,
I'm-
I'm trying to defend two. I'm trying to defend 2 songs on the album. I'll trash the rest of the album.
Now you're
Ram It
stretching.
Down-
It was
Ram It
one song a
Down
minute ago.
blows. Front to back. Front to back a turd.
Oh, I like how you don't back down, Steve, because you said, "Oh, I'll go listen to it," and you're like,
No, I tried
I
a
won't.
couple. Well, they did an
do
anniversary edition like a couple years ago, and I grabbed it because it was like $13, and I tried.
It's terrible.
No, I can't get through it.
It's fucking awful.
Eric. So how are you doing, Eric? You've been through a little bit. You doing all right
Yeah, how you
tonight?
feeling, bud?
You know, I'm on the upswing, but I'm still kind of fucked up. Blood thinners for like the next 6 months, something like that.
Dude, Scott went through that a couple years
You
ago.
look good,
I
man.
don't
You
know if
look you look clean and healthy to me. You know.
Look at that mustache.
Fucking
You look like 7 years younger.
Actually, you do, man.
Well, I shaved first of all.
I know, but you know you're thin. Yeah, but yeah, you look good, man.
Yeah, I'm down like 40, 45 pounds from the beginning of the year, something like that.
Look at that. Just
Something
when you
like
start
that. But
taking care
I
of yourself, that
fucking
shit
haven't.
happens.
I haven't been able to get to the gym for like 2 weeks now because of the blood clots shit. So I'm gonna try and go back Saturday. It's kind of driving me nuts a little bit.
Are they telling you it's okay to do that stuff?
Well, they said I can return to activity as I feel up to it, but I can't box anymore because of the blood thinners.
You feel a little
So-
tired from the thinners?
Yeah. I mean, my hospital stay kind of fucked with my sleeping schedule too. So like, now I went from being a night person to being a morning person, which is not preferable to me.
Isn't it interesting that you go to
Probably
spend time at the
healthier, though.
hospital to heal, and the last thing you do is get any time to sleep or anything in the house? You feel worse just because you haven't slept at all in the fucking hospital.
Dude, they're like, well, we need to check your vitals, and I'm like, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Let me.
How long did you have to stay? It was just a couple days, right?
Yeah, I wasn't in there long. It was just basically make sure that the clots didn't travel any further
Yeah.
than my lungs.
So Scott, I don't know if you knew Scott Waters went through the same thing like 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah, I think Aaron, Metal Theologian, was
Yeah.
telling me something about that. Yeah.
and he was in the hospital for like 3 weeks for him, but he
Yeah,
he
I
went
went-
through the same thing, the blood thinners for 6. He's actually on blood thinners for life now because they couldn't figure out what caused it.
Well, that's me. They're like, you had to have like deep vein thrombosis in your legs or anything. I'm like, no, my legs are fucking buff. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like no problems. No swelling, no long road trips, no long flights, nothing like that. The only thing they can think is that it was it's from COVID when I had it back in August.
Yeah.
Because I still test positive for it. Apparently, I've got the long COVID.
Wow.
So that's what they're blaming it on at this point. I don't know. All I know is it fucking sucked. But they were like, "You're lucky you came in when you did. If you'd waited another week, you might have been on a
Wow.
surgery table instead."
Well, the bad thing with him is they tried to send him home. They said there was nothing wrong. They said he was just tired, and he had a family doctor, and they were like, "No, you need to go back and tell them that you're not good." And the doctor, his family doctor, had to call the hospital and personally get him admitted because they just said, "Oh, you're just exhausted. It's no big deal."
yeah, it's,
He
I
had
was
all four of his the lung.
oh shit, all four
his-
hemispheres.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah.
clotted. So he was
Wow.
real bad.
I had it in the bottom hemisphere of my left lung, and then both hemispheres in the right lung,
Wow.
with dead tissue at the bottom hemisphere of my right lung. Supposedly that'll heal over time. That's what all the pain was from. I just thought I pulled some muscles doing cardio at boxing class. Like
I was going to ask you, what made you feel like you needed to go to the ER? Is that where you ended up at the ER?
Yeah, well, I went to the doctor, and because I thought I collapsed the lung. That was my initial. That would have been preferable, actually, because like they can just fix that right there in the office. And at the worst, I thought maybe I'd got some muscle separation from my rib wall. So he did X-rays and didn't see anything super weird. But he's like, "It looks like you might have pneumonia." I was like, "Well, that's strange. I've been vaccinated against pneumonia, so I don't know what that would be from." But so he had me do a couple different lab tests with blood work, and I went home, and one of my tests came back showing coagulation in the blood. So he called me up and told me I needed to go to the emergency room. So he could do a echo or a CT angiogram and then an echocardiogram after that, because they don't have any labs around here where you can just go in and get a CT angiogram for it. I guess you have to go to the hospital for that.
No ultrasound too. I usually do an ultrasound with those.
They did the
other tests.
ultrasound once I was admitted and in the room. That was the echocardiogram.
Right. With dye, did they give you dye with that?
They did with the CT.
Yeah.
I can't
So-
stand that. I feel like you're pissing yourself.
Dude, it felt so weird. I'm like, did I just take a leak?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
they can't
pretty
give it to
sure I
me.
didn't
I'm
take a
allergic
leak,
to it.
Like,
Oh, they warned me ahead of time. They're like, if you're gonna feel like you're pissing yourself, I promise you, you're not. And sure enough, like 30 seconds later, you're like, what the fuck?
I was like, oh yeah, I'm used to it. I get MRIs at least once a year. They do dye all the time, but it's not the same contrast at all. Like, totally different.
Yeah.
But
Did you
yeah,
ever hear that story about Zach Wild with the blood clots?
no.
And his was from
apparently-
what, drinking and stuff, right?
Yeah, no. Apparently, it runs in his family. His mom died, or was it his mom, or somebody in his family died from clots, and it ran in the family. And he never had an issue with it until he got sober, and he was at the gym, and he almost passed out at the gym, and they took him to the hospital. And their only guess is because he was drinking like a bottle and a half of
his
a day.
blood's more vodka, you
And
know.
they were saying that that's probably what kept it at bay for so many years, because he was in his 40s or 50s when he found out about it. And now, yeah, same thing. He's on these crazy blood thinners, and he's got to watch out, like working out, you know.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I'm trying to get used to all this new shit that I
That
got
would-
to do on blood thinners. Like, no more alcohol for right now, because you can get with the Eliquis, like you can get internal bleeding in your intestines or your stomach mixing alcohol. Like not like a drink here and there, but like I'm just trying to be good, you know. Like I don't want to tease myself into thinking I can go back to drinking like 3 beers a day.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Which even that's like not as much as I was doing a year ago, but not smoking or fucking hitting the e-cig anymore, which fucking sucks.
No, not really.
Yeah, no, it sucks, dude.
Sucks now.
I'm a fucking lifelong smoker, man. I love smoking. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I walk by people smoking on the street, and I go slower. I'm like,
You know what's funny? I quit smoking 12 years ago, and I still love that smell when I walk by people.
God, dude, it's so good.
Nah, man, I love a cigar, you know, but I'm an ex-smoker. I smoked cigarettes for years. When I smell a cigarette, I fucking hate that shit.
I still
A lot
love
of people do. I'm envious. I'm envious.
I love cigarettes.
No, but like
Depends.
cigar.
There's a different smell.
Yeah.
Like there's the pre-inhaled smell, and then there's the exhaled smell.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
exactly.
quit smoking 22 years ago. So when I
When
quit,
that lighten, that first, like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
that's good.
So good.
But I
Yeah,
got so bad that I would wake up at like 2-3 in the morning and go out and have a cigarette. So
Yeah, I'm on
Yeah,
nicotine
it's
gum
like
right
that.
now.
You know, I can't complain because
Right
I'll be
now?
better off eventually for it. But like
nice.
right now, it fucking sucks.
Never leaves me. I'm doing more nicotine than I did when I was a smoker.
yeah.
I just remember the name of the movie, North Shore, with Nia Peebles.
Weinbender, do you not reading the comments?
was
I put that in like.
No, I
10
can't. I'm on my
minutes ago.
phone. I can't read the comments, and Aaron doesn't give a fuck about you, so he doesn't post your comments.
Yeah, I know. Aaron just likes to tell me I got a nice mustache.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
He put
Yeah.
he put like a 25-minute jazz video. I'm like, nice mustache.
Yeah.
I watched it, by the way, Eric. It's
Sure,
fucking
sure.
weird, man.
It'll be a test.
No Tony
I
Williams.
think
Oh,
that's-
I know for sure you showed no Tony Williams. So
No, I
points off
didn't,
for
man,
that.
because I don't have any.
I was
Speaking
like
of
that too,
cassettes-
Bill. If I had a
speaking of
drink, I would
cassettes-
smoke, but I don't anymore.
No, but speaking of cassettes, and you mentioned Zach Wild, Do you have a cassette copy of the first Ozzy with Zakk Wylde on it?
I don't think I have any Ozzy on cassette anymore.
Bauer's the cassette guy.
What is that? The fucking
No Rest for the Wicked.
I don't. The only Ozzy I own is Ozzy and Randy Rhoads. Like that's it.
I got a double of that cassette, man. If you want a cassette in the mail, man, I'll send you one.
I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good.
you're recent.
I'm good. Fuck you. I don't want that shit for free. Fuck you in the face and die.
I don't want anything to happen to Zakk Wylde, but it would be great if Ozzy outlived all the young guitar players.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
that'd be crazy.
I tell you what, the best thing about I bought that new album. The best thing about it is Jeff Beck. Actually, I was shocked.
I was gonna say, please don't say the cover art because it's awful.
No, actually, I've got the
Something
worst art.
terrible.
I've got the. Have you seen this one?
Oh God.
Let me make
Just
you
like, what is it?
Oh,
What does Brian call his sunglasses? The mind
Oh,
shield.
that's that new one.
Oh yeah, that
Did you
looks
like
a
the
joke.
comic book?
That's
It looks like a
joke.
bad Italian movie from the 70s.
It's not even opened. I haven't looked at the comic book.
You're not going to
Oh.
open it?
I eventually will. I've heard it. I listened. I pre-ordered it, and it didn't come until like a month after it came out everywhere else. So I just ended up streaming it. But yeah, the best thing on there is
XM, they
Jeff
beat the
Beck stuff.
shit out of that album every day on XM. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
Dude, XM's rough, dude. If you listen to XM radio for 3 hours,
Sucks.
everything's on a loop, dude.
It
And then you hear the
sucks,
same.
dude.
Ever since the Sirius XM merger, they got rid of all their fucking DJs, and they just have like some kind of like pre-programmed computer bullshit, and they play the same fucking songs over and over again.
That's what all
It's
the
cliche.
Van Halen. It's like, Jesus Christ, too much fucking Van Halen, man.
The Beatles are on fucking everything all the time, and then you go to like deep tracks, and you're just like, dude, why are you playing fucking Hotel California? First of all, period, ever. But why are you playing Hotel California on deep tracks?
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
You're like,
I
"Fuck
only get it once a month when it's once a year when it's free for like a month. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like I'll come in
I'm
and
the
all of a
odd
sudden it
person
comes
that
on.
Loves the Eagles. I don't know what it is. I've always loved the Eagles.
But they used to have Underground Garage, they had classic vinyl, and they had deep tracks. And those three albums were like fucking, those three not albums, those three stations were fucking killer. And now they're just doo-doo, over recycled, same old. You're like, dude, I do not want to hear fucking Bob Seger from 1980.
Actually,
Like, get that shit out of my fucking life, dude.
the best
You're
part of
talking
XM
about
radio
fucking
is
satellite radio?
on XM radio, Henry Rollins would take over once a week for 2
Yeah.
hours. And he played some of the most killer stuff. I mean, he would go from like Leonard Skinner to some crazy noise band to some krautrock to, I mean, some of the coolest shit was stuff that he would play. And he was spinning records, just like, you know.
The
There's a
last
show
time I
up there
heard
now
anything
with
good on the radio, the last time I heard
Yeah.
anything good on the radio was when, it was the 90s? Was it 95? Maybe 94, 95, 96 when the FCC went on strike. And Eddie Vedder took over the DJ booth at one of our local radio stations here. And he occupied that booth for like 4 days.
Nice.
Basically the whole duration that the FCC were on strike.
Yeah.
And fucking just played whatever the fuck he wanted the whole time. And heard some wild shit during those 4 days.
Hey, Nathaniel, so Z-Trip, I actually knew him when he was playing house parties in Phoenix. So the band that I was in, we shared a practice space with a guy named DJ Damage there in Phoenix. And him and Z-Trip were always fighting for the house parties. They were the two big DJs in Phoenix. And the reason Z-Trip ended up getting big and surpassing everybody else was his dad or his grandfather was from New York. So he would go to New York and he would get all the underground music from New York and then bring it back to Phoenix and do shows in Phoenix and LA with stuff that nobody had ever heard before. And then he started mixing like hard rock and metal with hip hop and just kind of blew up after that. But yeah, it's amazing seeing guys like, I mean, as a guy that I knew from house parties, he was a good DJ. He wasn't great at the time. Now he's got a nationally syndicated radio show, you know?
Yeah, if it wasn't free, I'd never pay for XM. When I got my truck, they gave it to me for free for like 5 months. But
Yeah, that's great.
That's
I saw a comment pop up there briefly about Pink Floyd. I took a 10-year break from Pink Floyd and regained the ability to enjoy them again. But I had to take a break, and then I don't want to hear Dark Side of the Moon, and I don't want to hear the Wall. But I can still fuck with Pink Floyd. But sometimes you just gotta take breaks from some of these bands.
EW, you were talking about Beastmaster earlier. Have you seen this version of it?
Oh no, is that a cartoon?
No.
That's the
Oh, is that the deluxe?
You've seen Beastmaster 2, though, right?
That's
Is
the
that
Blu-ray.
original art
Yeah,
or
I've seen
new art?
Beastmaster 2, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, is the way to answer it, right? Yeah.
That's like a Criterion version.
yeah.
It's like
That's cool.
inside the box, and you got like this fucking book.
Oh, that's rad, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like all Frank Frazetta, Joe Jusko type
Yeah.
art.
Look at that.
Yeah, I still defend the movie. It's just it's corny, man. You can't turn if someone's watching that movie for the
That
first time
movie,
in 22.
like, Aaron will probably know, like, that movie was on cable all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
on,
remember
turn it on right now,
TBS.
John.
The
remember
the
back in the
topping on
80s,
the
it came
topping
on
on the
once a
cake
year.
is that it's 4K. 4K Beastmaster. Come on.
How do
Aaron,
you
you remember
get out
those-
of that
It came on once a
resolution?
year. That I used to be so excited when it was coming on, and yeah, then it got to the point with cable where it was on nonstop.
Aaron, you remember those like 80s and 90s like montage scenes in movies where somebody needs to get ready for an event, so they're like trying on clothes or going shopping or whatever? Yeah, Beastmaster does that on like Rodeo Drive and gets himself like a fancy 80s suit.
Is that the second?
Dead serious, dude. Beastmaster gets himself like a 1980s new wave, like kind of like whatever fucking type I don't know, like Flock of Seagulls, some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking A.
Hey, they just
Talk-
did that with
talking
Wonder
head
Woman
suit.
1984. They had the same scene. She goes to the
80s
mall. and-
montages are great.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta love them.
Wait,
Beastmaster needs some parachute
Singer was still
pants.
in Beastmaster 2, right? That's still Mark Singer? Or did they change the actor? I forget.
No clue, man. I think it was the same actor in Beastmaster 2.
Well, they did a TV show, a Beastmaster TV show too.
By all means, you need that shit in your life, dude.
I saw it at
Yeah.
like the CD or at the store I go. There's a CD store I go to that had it on the wall there.
It's like when they tried the Remo Williams TV show.
Oh man,
Some of these things just don't take off. Like
take.
some people have their little niche that they did some kind of action shit back in the day, and you love them for it. But then nothing ever really worked out. Like Kevin Sorbo was going to be the next action hero, and it never really worked out for Kevin Sorbo.
Dude, did you see that Call movie he was in? That movie.
Yeah, of
sucked
course,
ass.
dude. I saw that shit when it came out, man.
Oh, it's so shitty. So shitty.
Yeah, I remember my friend and I rented it. I know John's heard the story. I was in a terrible punk rock comedy duo called the Bumpin' Uglies. We were fucking atrocious. We were not good. He was very good on guitar. I was not a fucking talented musician anyway. But I remember like we rented it on from Blockbuster when it first came out. We were so fucking excited as like young nerds to be watching this fucking movie. And then we were like 8 minutes into this, and we're like, I don't know if this is gonna be good. And then by the end of it, you're like, no, that was one of the worst things that I've ever experienced in my life.
what's funny about that is nobody remembers his show. Everybody remembers Xena.
Yeah, exactly.
They seem to have forgotten the whole Hercules thing.
And they made the Young Hercules movies with what's his fucking name, Ryan Gosling. Played young Hercules. Yeah, bro, just being all 162 pounds.
All those shows.
Just be like, you're like, what are you
He's
doing,
young.
man?
Xena
Yeah,
and
dude.
Hercules were all like produced by Sam Raimi and had Ted Raimi and bit parts and all those fucking series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that whole era of TV. That was
Xena.
that was my club
The
days.
ultimate lesbian.
Dude, you can't be
Television
Hercules. You can't be Hercules with like 8.25-inch biceps. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
working
Like,
his way up, dude.
you know, like fucking hey, dude. Yeah, like dude, my forearms should be bigger than your fucking biceps if you're fucking Hercules, dude.
It's like,
You know?
like
Well, they just tried to
mini
redo
Conan.
it with who they used a couple years ago, Jason Momoa.
Yeah, and it didn't hit right.
No, it's Arnold
And then
Schwarzenegger.
the Rock. They also did a Hercules with the Rock, and
Actually,
it didn't work.
I have a hot take. The Jason Momoa Conan is closer to the Robert E. Howard source material than the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I agree
Conan.
with that.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually love
Yeah.
those comics.
I got some dope Conan art, some Joe Jusko art.
Eric, you're a big
Mhm.
old horror movie guy. Have you ever seen the movie called Baby from like 73-ish?
Who's in it?
Nobody. There's a chick in it. It's the craziest movie. It's one of my favorite like weirdo horror movies with a killer ending. But
1973. You got the date
Yes.
right. Let's see.
it was 73. I'm guessing.
Ruth Roman.
Yeah, she's great. She's like a female Ernest Borgnine. But
Oh yeah,
that movie
I
is
have
just
seen this. I don't remember it because this is when I worked at Scarecrow Video, about 2000, 2001. That's all just like a meth dream for me right now. So,
nobody knows this movie, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Where they keep a full grown man as a baby. They never like the
yeah, my
mother and the
rental history
sisters.
at that job was like by the time I
that's a
quit that
fetish now.
job.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let him walk, and he still talked baby talk. But it's crazy movie.
By
That
the
made me
time I
think of
quit
that made me
job,
think of
I-
pink flamingos.
We were.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. We were just. I walked into the record store 2 days ago, and what was the Divine was
Yeah.
playing over the stereo. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Eric,
Hey,
Yeah,
Eric,
we just
that-
watched
I hate to
Pink
tell you,
that was
Flamingos,
one
now
of
we're
the-
Criterion
That's one of
just
the ones I
released
have in my
Pink Flamingos.
VHS box, Eric. Is Pink Flamingos.
Pink flamingos.
Yeah,
Like, you want to talk
Criterion.
about Eggman for a while?
Well,
Eggman.
Aaron and I were supposed to do a show tonight, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, fuck that shit. I can't do it."
Well,
we
you
were
can
gonna
find the VHS.
Yeah,
Is
we're
that
gonna
what
do five. We're gonna do 5 random VHS.
I'll show you 5 random VHS.
No.
Here we go.
Oh, Gorilla Biscuits! I love that shirt.
Please show Solar Babies.
There's got to be at least one sequel in there.
Phantasm 2.
Yes.
I saw that in the theater. I liked it.
I liked it too, man.
Yeah. Because it led off, if I remember, like the opening scene was like the last scene, or like it led off from the other one. Like
Have you-
15 years didn't happen. You know,
Have
like
you checked out Tubi?
And 2 completely different people, John. The lead was
Yeah.
completely
Have you
different.
checked out that
Yeah.
website Tubi?
Tubi, no.
It's got all the old horror movies on it. TUBI.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a Netflix type of thing, but all the Phantasm, all the old horror movies from the 70s and 80s are on there. I've been watching a lot of them on there.
yeah,
Did you
I like
did
those.
you watch the last one,
oddball
John?
ones.
Ravager, the very last
No,
one.
I have
that
not.
came out a few years back.
I saw 3 of them, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even remember those.
Yeah, 3, 4.
Oh.
Then Ravager.
That was a bad thing about those movies, man. They wouldn't give up on them. They would do like 9 or 10 of them.
Yeah, please stop.
The first 1 or 2 would be awesome and just downhill.
The ball is back again.
Yeah, the ball is back. That was a big deal. That
Yeah.
for that sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I've got
what was
original poster. I got those original posters in my.
You know,
in my
one
room.
movie franchise I can't believe they made like 6 or 7 of. Do you guys remember Critters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember watching
Leonardo
Critters as a
DiCaprio's in,
kid.
like the 3rd or 4th one.
When did they turn into a giant ball? Was that from the very Jump Street?
Yeah, they turn into a ball
Later,
in the
Tom.
1st one.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks for coming by.
5 VHS.
He
man.
said
All right, here
3.
we go.
You said 5.
He said 5.
He doesn't respect your VHS game, dude.
Yeah, we got the original Evil Dead issue.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Great
one of my
movie.
favorites.
Great
All right,
movie.
you redeemed yourself. All right.
We got Flesh for Frankenstein, produced by Andy Warhol.
Yup,
Oh,
I seen
I
that
remember
one.
that. Yeah. That used to come on Showtime at like 1 in the morning on the regular.
We got 976 Evil, directed
Yeah,
by
that's a
Robert
great one.
Englund.
Mhm.
Yep.
We got the Crimson Ghost serial series.
Oh yeah, inspiration for the Misfits.
When's that? Is that 50s or 60s?
Might be late 40s, right?
Is it?
Early
46,
50s.
48.
Yeah, I think it might be 40s, but I could be wrong.
46.
Wow.
Boom, nailed it.
12 episodes.
That's awesome.
And we got Of Unknown Origin, Peter Weller, Shannon Tweed,
I don't know that one.
Killer Rat. Directed by George P. Cosmatos, directed Tombstone and Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Tombstone, huh?
There's 5 random VHS pools.
Oh, that was
that
5.
five?
Okay, I can't count. I'm like, that's number 4.
I thought that was 4.
I mean, I got more. I got a lot more.
Yeah,
You guys remember
I
Dark
believe you.
Shadows?
I can't count past 4 here.
I've been watching
No, I don't
Dark
have any
Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
You guys remember that?
The OG Dark Shadows?
Yeah, the OG Dark Shadows. I don't.
Yeah, I
remember it on-
online.
Yeah, I remember it on TV. I'd catch a little, but I never was my thing.
That was
Like a
I
soap
don't.
opera.
I mean, that was a straight up serial. Yeah, you couldn't like skip through it. You had to watch every single episode. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a lot better than I remembered from when I was a kid.
And it was on in the daytime, so you didn't really, you didn't sit home and watch TV in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the late 80s series that came on at night, Tales from the Dark Side?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
remember
love
that.
Tales
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What about Freddy's Nightmares? That was a good show.
Yeah, Eric, it's funny because
Oh, I forgot about
me
that.
and me and Eric were going to do Winebender. We were going to talk about videotapes and stuff, and I've just got a bunch of recorded stuff. But Eric, I have like a 120-minute VHS full of Freddy's Nightmares that I taped off television.
It's so rad.
I got to break out my VHS player and I got to watch them. Yeah,
Well, not just that, in the
religiously,
80s.
I was always home to watch those. Yeah,
Gotta
Back
do
in
it,
the
man.
80s, every city had their own B movie weekend show, you know, with whether it was Elvira or some other. We had some local vampire in Phoenix.
See you, Nick. Thanks for coming by, bud. Take care of yourself, man. We'll see you on Saturday, Nick.
I used to love that stuff, though. That's where they used to play all the trauma movies on the weekends. Some vampire dude in Phoenix.
Yeah, we used to rent those. You know, that was our video store era, was the trauma stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one when you go back and watch it. It's pretty bad. I used to love that stuff when I was younger. Man, that's some.
I like the Toxic
horrible.
Avenger.
Yeah. No, any of them. What was the
Toxic
one
is great.
Toxic. No, what's the one where the mouth or the belly buttons were mouths? Don't remember that one. It was one of the.
I don't
Class
remember
of
that
Nukem
one.
High.
What's that?
Class of
You
Nukem High.
It might have been Nukem High. Yeah, that might have been it.
My favorite
Yeah.
trauma film from the 80s is Surf Nazis Must Die.
Yeah, I
somebody-
remember that
you
one.
were talking
Yeah.
about that earlier in the chat.
Yeah, the soundtrack to that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Here it is, Eric. Here it is. You can see on there
Fuck yeah.
Freddy's Nightmares.
Oh,
It's so sick.
Yeah.
So rad. And then there was the Friday the 13th show.
I
Yeah.
like that. I tried.
it was
to find that.
Alfred Hitchcock had one like in the 80s, if I remember.
Well, the Friday the 13th show was an actual show. I tried to find it on like DVD or Blu-ray, and nobody makes it. You can't even.
Oh,
find
what was Friday? I know what is that show? Friday the 13th.
That was the one where they were like looking for haunted artifacts.
Yeah, it was like a guy in a redhead, I think. or
Yeah,
something.
it was. Yeah, an old guy and a couple young. I really liked it when it came out, and I've tried to find it, and you can't get it in except on VHS.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
I
get it-
vaguely remember that.
You can get it in a special edition DVD set with all the rest of the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I grabbed 5 random VHS.
You did?
Because fucking why not?
Fuck
This
yeah.
is our whole idea, Eric. We didn't think it would work.
Yeah, so-
That's all we're talking about.
So you need a stupid action movie.
I
Yes.
still love that
So
movie.
you got to have it. And then, I'm going to go double down on stupid action movies. But this one's actually fantastic. I don't care what anyone says. It's one of my top 10 all-time action movies. It's fucking Predator.
Predator rules. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
amazing.
Choppa.
It's
Anybody
fucking
talking
amazing.
Shit about Predator doesn't have any taste in cinema.
That's great. I love
And then
that movie.
2 staples everyone grew up with. If you're, I don't know, 70s, 80s, 90s babies, everyone should have grown up with fucking Monty Python.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
One of the most quotable movies ever of all time.
yeah. I saw that as much as Caddyshack. You know.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Another one of those movies that everyone
Dude,
grew
that's
up on.
my skull.
And then I'm going to count this as one, because if you guys ever watch my series of 5 Fresh Finds, sometimes I just kind of like take some and lump them. So here is Cheech and Chong, the less desirable Get Out of My
remember
Room.
that. That's one of the best. That's up there with Corsican Brothers.
I love
Yeah.
Corsican Brothers. Oh jeez.
I love
Night
Corsican
Screams.
Brothers.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Bert and Dolly.
Next movie,
Movie, yeah.
Up in Smoke is my favorite.
That is a good one. Yeah.
Still Smoking.
There
Yeah.
it is. And now you're getting into the
And I did
taste.
save the best for last.
Yes.
And I
The
do have
soundtrack to that is fantastic.
I do have an original soundtrack with the entire full. I still have the paper.
Yeah.
I can't believe you have Get Out of My Room.
Yeah, I gotta get out of my room, dude.
I
It was
didn't know they
I
put
probably
that
got
out on VHS.
Yeah, I probably got it for $1.99 in a Walmart sale bin one time. Once upon a time.
Oh, that's a good
The
good
Corsican
one,
Brothers,
man.
though, man, I forgot about that movie. I'm going to watch that again. I loved that when it came out.
Oh yeah,
Did you
that'll make your
really?
day.
Oh, it's so dumb, but I loved it, man. I love the idea of you getting hit and your brother fucking feeling it.
Yeah, about 10 years ago, my parents came up, and my sister I don't know if she was here or whatever, but she might have pitched it. She pitched in, but we sent my parents on their anniversary to go see Cheech and Chong live because my father's a big fan, and they had a ball, and just for old people.
I think it's funny that Cheech spent all that time talking shit about Chong and refused to do anything with him. And then when his career goes to shit, all of a sudden he's, hey, let's make up.
Yeah.
Well, here's the Phantasm tour.
There you go.
All right. That's part of my youth. I saw that. I remember everything. Yeah, that was great.
That was one of those bins it's been rented 8,000 times, so we'll sell it to you for $6.
Yeah.
So it looks extra grainy.
Extra super green.
Yeah.
Isn't Phantasm 2 the one where they like just the first 20 minutes is a recap of the first one?
Yeah.
It's really cool because they used a lot of unused footage from the first one in the second one, which I thought was really, really fucking cool.
And you got to remember, it wasn't sequels like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. It felt like it was 10 years between movies. Like
the first one was. The first and second one was.
Yeah, it was a big gap.
Back in the day, I was on a meth bender, and I watched all 4 Phantasm movies in a row.
No, this is 88, so that'd be not 9 years. I think the first one was 79.
Yeah, but it was a long time for being a kid.
88, so it's a long fucking
that's
time.
a long time in kid years. Nowadays it's
and Michael Baldwin wasn't in the second one. It was some completely different guy. Michael Baldwin didn't come back till like the third, and then on from there.
Well, not just that. 88's like the end of that genre of horror.
Yeah, but when it came out, it was
picked it up
promoted.
again.
Yeah.
It went on for another 15 years, man.
The other one I remember was Poltergeist. Man, I loved that movie when it came out.
Later on, Nate. Thanks for coming
and then all
by,
those
brother.
people started dying from it.
Good night, Nate.
I like part 2 better than
Stop
part
on by
1 with
Saturday.
Poltergeist. That's my hot take.
I don't even remember part. I know I saw it, but
Part
Part
2?
2's got the creepy.
Yeah,
old
I saw
priest.
it. I don't remember.
Oh,
I love it. Yeah, because the preacher guy, I read a story.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was actually dying of cancer while they were filming that movie.
Yeah, it's the guy that they based the cover art for Among the Living. Anthrax Among the Living was the same dude.
Oh, really? Oh, with the hat and all. Yeah, that makes total
that
sense.
dude was creepy as
Now,
hell.
the third one was total shit. The one in the high rise.
Yeah,
I
with
didn't
Tom
even see that one.
Skerritt from fucking Picket Fences.
I just watched House again too. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, House was
the
great.
first
I saw
House or
that
the
in the
second
theater.
House?
Yeah.
No, the first one. I just watched it like a week ago. I forgot how
The
good
first
that
one.
was.
You know what?
William
You know what
Shatner,
threw me about
George
that?
Wendt.
I remember when I came out in the theater, and the artwork scared the shit out of me. And then I watched the movie. I was like, this has nothing to do with like a severed hand, like ringing a doorbell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
first thing I think about
Yeah,
every
it was
single
cool.
time.
It
Was the guy
that's
the guy from Night Court in there? The big
Yeah.
bald guy.
Oh,
He was in
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the Vietnam vet that he left.
Yeah, he was a
behind, and
Vietnam vet.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah. That was a good movie.
Richard
No,
It was
Moll.
cool.
And now I'm gonna have to go watch the second one because I remember I saw both of them in the
The
movies,
second
but I
one
don't
had that
remember.
weird like it was like that weird dog that they found in the bushes. It's like his great grandfather came back from like the old west. He was alive again, and they were like drinking whiskey and shit. And
Yeah, see, I don't
I don't
remember,
remember. I know I saw it, but I don't remember.
it was.
And the
bad.
only
It was
reason
a
I
movie.
remember
Cliff Clavin was in it. He was.
Yeah.
He was.
The name.
His
There it
name's
is,
Cliff
Eric.
Clavin.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
The
Down
only
Your
reason I remember
Dead.
that one so well is because, like I
Yeah,
said,
that
I
was
just
good.
watched it not too long ago.
That cover art's Show that again, Eric. That cover art's fucking great, man. Nothing like
Mm-hmm.
the movie. I saw that hand and I was like, this is going to be scary, man.
Yeah.
I love that whole era. You had to market the video box because you were renting it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Nowadays, it's all on Netflix or whatever. Or what do you got there? Joe Django.
Well,
Django, Franco Nero.
those boxes were so good, though. I remember going to the rental store and just staring at the.
Hold on, I'm
boxes.
bringing you back.
All right, take care, Malia. Stop by on Saturday if you can.
You got Darren McGavin in the
Take
Night
care.
Strangler. Takes place in underground Seattle.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, Amityville Horror was a good one, Bill. The first.
Oh, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw that as kids. That was a new movie. That was scary.
So I remember when I was a kid, when they used to do History Channel, Discovery Channel, and everything, they'd always do the big production around Halloween and have documentaries and everything. And I remember they had like the true Amityville story and the history of like pastors coming by and trying to like bless the house and preachers and everything. And the preacher comes upstairs and like the windows slam and the temperature drops like 15 degrees and everyone gets a chill and all the doors like swing open in the house and they hear a voice that say, "Get out." Now, I'm not saying that's real, but if that's me, I'm fucking moving that day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it goes from 72 to 53, all the windows slam and all the doors open at one time and you hear like a demon voice say, "Get out," gone. I'm fucking. I don't live there anymore.
Movie, Eric, when that window slammed down on that kid's hand, I for like 20 years I wouldn't put my hand near a window because I was afraid it's going to slam down on my hand.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you a couple soundtracks real quick. Here you go.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. I like that cover.
Yeah, this is the Mondo press.
Are we showing horror soundtracks now?
I just want to show you a couple. Well, I wanted to show you a couple movies that we haven't talked about yet that I absolutely love. So here's remember Shockwaves? That's like 79, 80.
That movie.
Yeah, I remember a different cover though, right? Isn't it was the
this is Waxwork. This is done by Waxwork, and probably my favorite. This is 1990, but Nightbreed.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Nightbreed was awesome.
Nice covers. They all kind of have the same kind of artwork going.
Yeah, this is on. Those two are Waxwork, and the Phantasm was Mondo.
Waxwork. I think Mondo's cool. They do a good job, but Waxwork fucking kills it, dude.
Waxwork knocks
Mondo's records don't sound as every Mondo that I've bought has like pops and stuff on it, whereas Waxwork, all the vinyl sounds really good.
Yeah, the Waxwork, they really care. This Mondo Phantasm, it sounds good. It sounds good.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying $100 for the original.
Is everyone stepping away right now to get a horror soundtrack?
We're heading down a rabbit hole here, man.
It only got, but I was talking about the Turbo Kid. Mondo did the Turbo Kid pressing, and it's like that. And it's what sucks is there's a lot of quiet parts in the music, and it kind of ruins it. But yeah, that Turbo Kid movie is great.
Aaron, you seen this?
Oh cool,
wow,
man!
I can't see.
Is that Waxwork?
It's House 2.
All right, I'm on my phone, so
I wonder who pressed it, Eric.
Fucking Waxwork.
Is that Mondo or Wax?
Waxwork.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, these are my 3 favorite Waxwork.
That one must have slipped by me, man. Very fucking.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I've got that. That's great.
With the Necronomicon on the cover. That's awesome.
The vinyl looks cool because it looks like a real. It's what is it? Red, white, and yellow or something, Eric?
I forgot about the Howling. That was a good movie too.
The original Howling was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that weird, that pre CGI stuff that they were doing with when the face comes out. It's like this rubber kind of. They're just pushing like.
Yeah, the Howling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yours is you got a yellow one.
Yeah.
Hey, show that again. Sorry, I just got here.
It's like you timed the beer can with the record coming out.
Oh, that's awesome. The finger.
I love that movie.
Here.
Dead too.
Hold on, I think mine is different. Hold on a second.
Yeah, his finger was below the words, right? Bill, have a good night, brother.
Oh, you got a fancier one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't looked at these in a minute. That's the Howling.
Take care, Bill. Thanks for coming by, brother.
You guys talking about werewolves? That's making me think about Silver Bullet.
Corey Haim.
Oh yeah, he had that super fast wheelchair.
Yeah, Gary Busey souped up his wheelchair.
Yeah, Busey was in that. Yeah,
I had a friend spend the night at my house when I was like 12 or 13 when that came out, and I had a friend spending the night, and he got so scared he went home after watching that movie. He laid down and started having bad nightmares and stuff, and we had to take him home.
Dude, that movie had Anne of Green Gables in it. How can you be scared by it?
Yeah.
Good call, Aaron. The Goblin.
Suspiria, yeah. Suspiria's got some great artwork too on the album.
Who was showing
I
that?
like the Deep Red soundtrack. There.
Probably Eddie. Eddie has a lot of that stuff, but I don't know.
I saw maybe in the background somebody maybe had.
I got a bunch of Goblin soundtracks back in the other room, but I'm not going to go grab them all.
Nah, good. Yeah, this has turned into something really interesting.
Deep Red is probably my favorite, though.
The Goblin stuff has gone crazy, though. It seems like they get represses every year or two now. All the Goblin stuff.
Yeah, just you gotta. I don't know. Some of them kind of suck. Like they put like minimal effort into them. I've seen a few that are kind of disappointing.
I'm sure they weren't making a whole lot of money to do them.
Inmate, call Adrian.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Some
yeah.
lost in translation when you're when you're typing.
Oh,
Oh man.
So we got to bring up. I think I'm going to do most of my set list is going to end up being OSTs and soundtracks.
fuck yeah!
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'll pick something.
I when I was pulling these, I pulled out my OG Reanimator. And,
Oh, another great movie.
And
I
the
just
thing-
got that too, Eric, on vinyl not too long ago.
Yeah, but
Reanimator.
it's yours, the original Varice Sarah Bond issue,
Cool.
or is it a Waxwork or Mondo press?
I forget. Let me look here.
That's one of the weird ones where I remember Reanimator 2. I don't really remember Reanimator.
I remember
the first
Reanimator
one.
is it's a bad movie. It's a
Yeah,
bad
that's
movie.
probably why I remember it.
It's not great. It's better than Reanimator 3, but it's still not great. Reanimator 3 takes place
Here
in
it
a
is.
prison. Terrible. Oh yeah, so is that Mondo? That's Mondo or Waxwork?
Yeah, this is Mondo.
Mondo, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got the OG.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real interesting artwork to me, because that's just how now I don't vision the movie, but that's cool. It looks
Here we can
Good
compare.
artwork.
1 second.
Again, Mondo is Mondo wants to be Waxwork. Honestly, they try, but again, they kind of missed the mark a little bit. But it definitely is cooler than just standard black.
What do you got, Eric?
Here's a tier underneath Mondo is Sacred Bones. Nothing special there at all.
Yeah, but the music's good.
Yeah, but
I
this
remember
is
finding out
rad.
that was William Shatner. I was like, no
Now
shit.
this is Waxwork. This is dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude.
We got a really
Yeah,
cool
that's
art.
scary. That's even scary. Just that gatefold is scary
That
to me.
movie is scary. That still scares me. That movie.
Yeah, that's a scary one.
It looks more minty in on
Hold it.
camera here.
Hold the cover up again. I just want to look at it for a minute.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What's inside the
Yeah,
gatefold?
That's great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man.
And like I say, it's split right here with the spine, but it is a full side to side cover here too.
Nice.
Great.
But yeah, that's pretty dope. And then let me see if this
What
one
a brilliant movie.
now this one doesn't have it has nice polyline
There's the
screens,
OG,
but
Eric's
there's no
got the
art on
OG Reanimator. Cool. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Then we
Can't
got
believe nobody's shown the Leprechaun yet.
oh sure. It's not
The Leprechaun 3 in the hood.
Oh, Tales in the Hood.
Tales from the Hood, that sounds
I remember
great,
that.
dude.
Oh, that movie was. Oh
That is
my
so
god,
good.
It's got a foil gold tooth.
that's awesome.
I remember watching that movie as a little kid with my buddies Terrence and Jerron.
I saw that in the theaters.
Fucking A, yeah.
Yeah,
This is an original too, but it's not the OST. It's just all the songs that are on the movie.
yeah.
So you got like Wu Tang, fucking Spice One, Old Dirty Bastard,
Yeah, I had that soundtrack. At one point.
MC8, Gravediggers. Fucking rules.
And
Careful.
I got one more, and I got to go. I'm putting on a water pump on my Blazer in the morning with my fucking mechanic, so I got to go to bed and get
Nah,
6
we'll
hours
show
of
a
sleep.
few more, and then I got to get up at 5. So,
But so here's
yeah,
the
we'll
last
get up.
one, man. It's not a horror movie, but it's a fucking cult classic. Here's Warriors.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
What
And I
press
do
is
have an
that?
original Warriors. I guess I could have pulled it to compare the original art, but now it's on the other side of the room.
Is that
You know, so I
Waxwork
really
too?
like. I originally like the original. The original art has all the gangs and the fucking, the
Yeah.
baseball theories and shit surrounding them. So this
What
is more like
price is it, Eric?
standing alone.
That looks
Turbo
like Double
AC.
Dragon. It's like Double Dragon meets the Warriors.
That's awesome.
That's got to be Waxwork. Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, this is Waxwork. Iconic right there. This is You know who this is too, by the way? Pop trivia. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Same actress. And then I think this one actually has more inserts.
Oh, cool.
So it's got all the goodies. But then I played this on Grown Man Record Night because you know he likes it synthy, and so there's some cool shit on this. But really cool pressing.
Nice.
Yeah, and then it has the custom graffiti center label. Well, that doesn't look like a, you know.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
It's a W. You know how it's a M, it's a E, it's a 3, it's a W.
Right?
But
that's
yeah,
awesome. That's
but
a
yeah,
good one.
Waxwork. I don't have a ton of them because they cost so fucking much.
Oh,
But,
that was cool. Very cool, man.
Yeah, before we start nerding out, because next thing you know, I'll be grabbing the best '80s movie ever of all time, Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. I hope you're not laughing sincerely. That movie's fucking life changing. It's amazing. It's one of the greatest movies ever was, man. Showing up.
Oh, ow.
You don't like that movie?
No. Just the movie's fine.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
He's not saying it's fantastic. He said it's fine.
Well, look, I hope you guys got some time to maybe come by Saturday, man.
Oh man,
It'd be great if you guys come up. We can riff some more on this whole subject again.
Yeah, the horror movie talk is great. I love it.
yeah, VK, the
I'll take it,
Escape
man.
from New York soundtrack is great too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
that's
Snake
really
Plissken?
good. Waxwork did
Yeah.
that one too, I think.
Yeah.
that's what he's talking about on Waxworks.
I just saw Terrifier 2 in the theater. That was awesome.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours of blood and guts.
So my 12-year-old daughter is trying to get me to take her to it.
No, it's not for 12-year-olds, dude.
Okay.
That movie,
Wait till she's 13.
that movie's barely for 18-year-olds.
My daughter's always going into the rated R movies too.
No,
She's 13.
It's not rated R. It's not rated, and it's fucked up. And it's probably the most graphic movie I've ever seen in the theater, but it rules.
Wow.
What's that?
High praise.
Terrifier 2.
Okay. Yeah, there's some really messed up porn films too. Where you're just like at the end, you're just like, damn, dude, I got to go lay in the fetal position and kind of hold myself. What the fuck's going on? Is humanity dead? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brutal, dude. It's fucking the effects in it are just gnarly.
Yeah.
There's one scene where even I'm pretty seasoned when it comes to horror movies, like as far as the extreme shit. And there's a
But
scene.
then you start watching German and Korean stuff, and you're like, damn.
Dude, I've seen
whole
plenty of
different
German
level.
and Korean horror movies, man.
Yeah, it's the Filipino stuff. That
Like
gets real
that
bad.
movie, The Sadness, that came out recently, that didn't even make me flinch. That shit was weak. I mean, I liked it, but it was tame in comparison. But there was a scene in Terrifier 2 where I was just like, holy fuck. I can't believe this is in a theater in the town I live in. That's crazy.
So did anybody walk out while you were there at the one when you?
No,
went?
anybody going to see that movie knows what they're going to see.
Yeah.
All the rumors of people throwing up and fainting at that movie.
Well, I mean,
are
we've
like
all heard that before over the years.
total bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
All
why
right,
I was
dudes.
asking because nobody I know that's seen it has actually seen anybody walk out. So that's
Yeah,
why.
no.
Aaron,
So
thanks
I
for
could,
having us, brother.
Yeah,
Hey,
I could
Darren.
roll for another 2 hours, but I got to get up at 5.
Yeah, it was a great listening hang. Yeah, have a good
Yeah,
night.
it was great. So, hey, thanks for hanging out with me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having
was
me
fun.
on, even though my mustache is gone.
Hey, I still love you, man. It's all good.
Great to be seeing you, Steve. I haven't really
Yeah,
hung out
Steve,
in a
thanks
while
for
or
coming up, brother.
commented
Yeah,
in a while.
really
Nice
good
meeting
hanging
you,
out.
Steve.
I hope you guys can come by Saturday and hang out on the Hydra 18 for a Halloween special. Maybe come up afterwards and hang out, and we'll expand a little more on this whole subject, man. It's been a lot of fun.
My daughter's doing the haunted house thing. My wife and daughter.
There you go.
The ladies' night at the haunted house.
Gotcha.
So I
Yeah,
might,
man. But
hop
yeah, I
on.
appreciate everybody hanging out, man. I hope you enjoyed the music tonight. We'll be back on Saturday, this coming Saturday, for Hydra 18 Halloween special. We'll all be dressed up, so we're going to have a lot of fun. And hey, until then, I appreciate everybody's support. I really do, man. Thanks for coming by, Steve and Eric and
Later, Aaron.
Eric
Have a good one.
Weinbender.
Good night. Good night,
Take care,
guys.
everybody in the chat. We'll see you on Saturday, so
Later.
come on back and see us again.